The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 465, been recorded on August the 26th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walks Out. Today I'm joined by my co-host from the West Coast, the best coast, Gunny Chief, and the Merrill is back. And the Mayo is back from Little Ohio, Steve Willier. Welcome back, Steve. Welcome.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Guest host, Steve the Mayo.
Special guest.
I had to take a vacation to get the time off, to be able to go, to record.
Guest.
Guys, I need this time. I need to take vacation time.
Welcome to the show, Steve. Welcome.
Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, welcome back. Anyways, people, you can follow us at _horrible gamers. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. You can find us there. You can find us pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. You can join our Facebook group, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. It's a close group. Anything you post on there stays in there. We also have a Facebook page, and we have a Discord. I don't know where the Discord, and find us. The Discord link is in the show notes. So that means if you have your phone out on you right now, which most of you do, you can find us there, or you can head on over to your web browser and find us there as well. Anyways, big shout out to the Patreon machines over at patreon.com/horrible gamers to support the show with the monies, like our friend Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Chad, Gunny, Dark Arisen Ruler over Edmund Dragon's Bane Baby Mode, Port Chapu, Nipron, Evan Bamboo Master Tanaka, and Bill Gardner II, the Elden Lord. Thanks to all of you for being Patreon machines, keeping the show ad-free. And big shout out to Phantom Meg for the intro music and Broke for Free for the outro music to the podcast. Now, gentlemen, let's talk about stuff and video games and shit and whatnot. Gunny wants to go first, he said.
I want to go first. And every time I hear Evan talking about being the Baby Master, I want to play Sifu, and I keep wondering why I have not purchased that game yet. Mayo's been playing it.
No, I haven't. I've not been playing that.
I thought you were. Okay.
No.
Anyway, maybe it was somebody else. You've been gone so long, Mayo. Before I do talk about what I have been playing, I do have some good news, guys. I did something. I bought something. No, it's not a ROG Ally. It's a new gaming PC, guys.
Oh, no.
So it's not going to be here. Well, so I bought it through the Best Buy thing, and of course I decided I'm not going to have it go one day to pick up some things and the next day. So it's weird. It's some parts come to tomorrow, the next day, and the first week of September. So I'm all right, that's kind of weird, but
So it's not a pre-build. It's when you're building yourself, right?
No. So this is so I went actually a little more complicated, Mayo. And I did a lot of research, especially over the last 3 weeks. I mean, this is something I've been doing for probably the last couple of years. As at least 2 years. And then now it's I'm really serious about it, because I think it was 3 weeks ago. I'll just back up a little bit. And here I am with this 1070 Ti. It's still alive. I've got a generic motherboard, right, from this pre-built. Even me and Mayo couldn't figure out who makes it. When did I do that mid-gen upgrade? I want to call it mid-gen upgrade, but it was more, I think, was it 3 years ago, Mayo? Where I got a different cooler and
it's probably been longer than that, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, right. I got the case, the Corsair case here. It's I think this is a mid-tower case that I'm looking at. And what do they call these? They're the dual chamber. So this is a pretty nice case that I got here. But neither here nor there. So, yeah. So I'm going from a 1070 to a 3070 Ti. I think it's a 3070 Ti Super. Let me just look down my list.
4070.
Excuse me. 4070 Ti Super. So, Mayo, I remember you talking about the Ada Lovelace, and I just been going back and forth on these things. I know, Jesus, you did say go with the 4080, but things are like over $1,000. So I'm like, and of course that build kind of puts me over my budget limit for the entire PC. Because this is a whole new build. Like, I'm going to take this computer that I'm currently talking to you from. It'll probably go to the other house, and it'll be able to play hobo games on it, like I've been doing. I wouldn't say hobo games, but more indie games. But anyway, man, this is the PNY 4070 Ti Super with the Ada Lovelace something. I don't know if that's the technology, but basically it has the RGB to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so there's that. It's got the triple fans. I'm just kind of going down here, see what it says here. So I guess it's not in the features. Yeah, but either way, yeah, that'll be a big step up and upgrade for me.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's that. I'm just trying to pull up, but I basically went like this. Jesus, I tried to go for like a full kind of Corsair build, like with like all the RGB and the fans, but I did look at other coolers from other manufacturers and stuff. But I thought, well, if I just do just kind of all Corsair, I can put those into what's called, like, they call it the Commander, right? Which is like basically just a module where you plug in all your fans, right? And so I was like, cool, I'll just go ahead and get that. The Corsair IQ, what is it called? The Link or whatever, H150i, which is going to be compatible, I guess, with the CPU. So, and I got 6 fans with that. And as far as cases go, I was looking at that Corsair 5000D case, and it's a nice case, but I've always wanted to be able to have like glass in the front and on the side. And the only one that kind of does it for me is this NZXT H9 Flow. So of course this is the all black one. I could do that, or an all white build. I think white would probably not look too bad over here. Like, next to all these other black monitors and TVs, but either way, I went all black, and I think this one fits like 9 or 10 fans on the 140 millimeter, excuse me. But so yeah, I basically ended up with like 9 of the RGB fans, and then I figured the one in the back, it just, I could always upgrade that one later to RGB. So since I'll have at least 3 extra fans. So, but also on that, I really wanted what's called the H6 from the NZXT, and it looks like it was like 2 inches shorter and 2 inches are not as wide as the H9. I thought, oh, this one's really cool. Like it looks exactly the same. It's a little sleeker. The wife just ordered like a gaming desk. It was like $120. Kind of a cheapo. I'll show that to you guys. I'll probably put that in Discord when I actually do get it. Because right now, what I've been gaming on for the last, I've had this thing for well over 6 years, maybe close to 7. And it's basically a dresser is what it is, right? So I'm always sitting like sideways, like it's not exactly like a desk, but it's something I picked up because it's got like, instead of 2 drawers at the very top, like they're kind of open, and that's where I put my consoles and other stuff. So it served me pretty well. It's a pretty good desk for what I've been using it for. So, but back to the build. Yeah, I went with that. And let's see what else. I just got like your normal kind of memory, the Corsair 64 gigabyte, which is the 2 cards, I guess you can call those. And Mayo, tell me if I did this right, but they're 6400 megahertz. Those are good, sufficient.
In the what?
As far as the memory goes, the 6400 megahertz on those.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because that was for those 2. I mean, you figure $240, right, for the 2 of them. I think they always come in a pack, right? Mm-hmm. So I figured those be sufficient. And as far as the CPU, I went with the i7 13700K. I know that currently the i7 that I have in this thing is like like really, really like.
Yeah, I think you have like the 6600. I think.
Yeah, it's really small. Like even if I try to overclock anything in this thing, the whole computer just shuts down. So it's not going to happen. So I figured that'd be good.
That's like a 7th-generation leap.
Yeah. This is this is 8 cores plus 8 cores. So that sounds like a lot of cores. So I can definitely make use of those.
Johnny has officially joined the 21st century, Jesus.
I know, right?
I know. Right? If I would have went like 4080 or something, I'd be right up there with you guys. So I got the 2 terabyte internal SSD or the NVMe. Let's see, what else did I get? Oh, as far as motherboards, right? I mean, just so many different options, right? When I'm going back and forth and putting things in the cart.
There's a ton of options.
Oh my gosh, and different brands, and yeah, which one to get, right? That's the question. Like, which one's better going to serve my needs? I have no idea. But I did go with something a little. It's not the highest end motherboard, but this one's the Gigabyte Z790 Aurorus Elite is what it's called. And because I looked at the one that was like, okay, this one's 150. Versus this one being 250, like $100 more. And one of the things I learned, Mayo, I did not know this or how much it matters, but maybe you can help me with this. As far as overclocking, let's say I'm going to overclock what would I be overclocking? My CPU? Is that what I'd be? Yeah. Or would it be my my graphics card?
Your CPU.
It would be the CPU. So from what I understand, if you're overclocked the CPU, the motherboard makes a difference as far as heat distribution. Is that correct? Or processor speed or something like that?
It can make a difference by when you get into your BIOS, like how much you can get into on your
as far as voltage, CPU. Right? It's something to do with the voltage.
You can change the voltages, and you can also change the memory speeds. But on your RAM,
that's right. It was the memory speed, right? That was the key right there.
And so just higher quality motherboards will support, like running higher voltage and stuff like that, so you can overclock a little more. So they tend to overclock a little better, your better quality motherboards, where maybe other ones won't, So if you pay like an entry level motherboard, it's not going to really support it a whole lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Or it's not going to be as stable. Like the better company or better brand, and then the better quality, like better components, they're not gonna like fry or fry your CPU or anything like that.
Yeah.
A lot more fail safes.
Yeah. See, I thought, what does it make a difference? But of course, doing a lot more research, I was like, okay, this might actually make a difference. But I think for me, with this build, like I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna be very happy with 60 frames, right? Like locked in. It's not going to be, and hell, if I can get 80, I'm sure I can get 80, right? On some of the games I want to play.
Pretty much everything you're going to be playing, you're getting over 100 probably.
Yeah. And if I can get 100, great. That's perfect. I'm sure there's going to be some games where I just don't want to screw around with it. Just lock it at 60. I'm good, right? Because I do have I bought this, that's the other thing I bought, Mayo, that thing from 4 years ago. Was the this 165 hertz monitor that I have. So it runs great. I mean, it's so it's go great with my.
It depends on the game. I wouldn't even lock it at 60. I just put it on unlimited and let it do its thing. You're not going to notice it changing that much.
Yeah, unlike this PC, right, where I definitely see a lot of changes. But yeah, I should mention also this monitor I have is the 1440p. So. Runs great. It's the best piece of hardware that I actually purchased from way back.
Guess, a lot of the games you're going to get around 100 frames. If I had to guess, at 1440.
Yeah, that'll be so awesome. I think that's it, though. I think
on full settings or max, ultra settings as well. So
yeah. So we'll see over the next couple weeks. And as far as the power supply goes, so this one I got is an MSI. MPG A850G. So it does say that it has 100% of the Japanese capacitors in it. I wonder if that makes a difference.
Them Japanese capacitors.
Yeah, right. It doesn't have the Korean capacitors. It's not
Them
Malaysian
Japanese ones,
capacitors.
that's right.
They're not
Japanese.
from Taiwan. They're not from Taiwan.
Right, you tell them, Gunny.
So yeah, and this one's 850 watts. From what I understand, everybody's like anything over 750, you should be good for the build that you have. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And I don't plan on doing a lot of overclocking. I'm sure when I first get it, I'll be like, I'm overclocking everything I possibly fucking can to see how, test this rig and yeah. But I figured like the purpose is like, yeah, what if I want to play like a AAA game like Wukong? What's that one? Black Myth Wukong? Or the new Star Wars game, or because I can't currently do that, right? I can play those on the Xbox X or but if I do want a AAA, I can't get the full potential out of it through a PC. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, guys. We'll talk, I'm sure, more about that next week once I kind of get everything set up. And I've called Mayo and Jesus 100 times, going, "Where's this wire go? How do I hook this shit up?" So,
well, I heard Jesus is coming over to visit you. I just wait until he gets there to put it together. That's why he just hand him the parts and be like, "Put this together, Jesus."
So Jesus will be here next week where I'm at, and then I'll be up there to see him in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so either we start it and fuck it up down there, and then you bring it up here, and then we'll finish it.
Yeah, I'll drop. You tell you what, Jesus. So here's my plan. I don't think did I talk about this the last time we were on? But I'm going to Canada to land. I got my passport. I got it renewed, and yeah, so we all got our passports renewed. We're taking a road trip to go to Canada to land. And on the way up, Jesus, I'll drop it off at your place, and then I'll pick it up on the way back. So you've got 2 days or 3 days.
I'll have it full of viruses in 3 days.
he's like, I got the special memory stick. Fucking yeah. But seriously, guys, yeah, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go see Jesus. Then I'm gonna go see my auntie in near not Seattle, Tacoma. She's near Tacoma. I think she lives on an island or something.
Tacoma's a ghetto city, man. I'm not gonna lie. People make Tacoma like seem like it's nice, and no, it's not nice. It's very crime-ridden. It's a crime-ridden city almost.
So
it's
so
pretty bad.
Looking at the map, she lives north of that, like, but not north as in like Seattle, but more like I just want to call them islands or whatever. But no, I'll probably just meet her lunch or dinner, and then go to Canada. My wife has some cousins up there, and then they're up in Surrey, Canada, which is near, what is it called? Toronto? No, I forgot the name of the damn big ass city up there. But yeah, so that'll be my first time in Canada.
Oh, no. Are you going to British Columbia?
BC, yeah, what's BC? What's in BC? Now I got to pull it up, right?
Victoria?
Is it Vancouver, right? Vancouver.
No, it's Victoria, or is it Vancouver, Washington? Vancouver, Canada. No, maybe Vancouver, yeah.
It is Vancouver. Man. Yes. I said Toronto. That's where Ryan lives. I don't know my Canada speak, so
he lives on the east. He lives on the east coast, dude. Of the
yeah, I'm closer to Alaska over here. Wow, yeah. Well, hell, that's not even close to Alaska. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, that's the plan. So that'll be a vacation, nice little road trip. As far as what I've been playing, I've just been playing a lot of just like indie games over here. Something I've been playing up until we started recording is a game called Atlas Falling, Rain of Sand. And this game came out about a year ago, and I looked at it and I, talked to Ryan, like, what do you think? Yeah, I don't know. Meh. It looks okay. It's just okay. But we never did pick it up for some reason. It's kind of right up my alley. It's open world RPG, and it's cool so far. It's made by developer Deck 13. They made the Surge. If you guys remember those were more. I never played that game. I always wanted to, and I never did. Never cared for it. I want to say the Surge one I think both of them are on Game Pass, Mayo, so you can always check those out. And or at least the Surge 2 is on Game Pass. But it's almost a Souls-like to me. And you would think, like, Henley, you fucking love Elden Ring. Why don't you like this? I don't know. It just seemed like, yeah, you pick up a fucking bumper from a car or whatever, and you swing it around, but everything is really slow because you're just starting out. And if you don't swing right and you miss, the enemy hits you and half your health is gone. That's what that is. And I think even like drones come, you might have a gun. I don't remember. They just kind of suck to me. I don't know. I tried it at least 3 different times and I was like, fuck these games. So I might have even bought the first one and regretted it. But after so many hours in Elden Ring, who knows, right? That would be something. If it's a game where like, hey, you're gaining powers and strength and, stuff like that, then I think that's good for me. So, yeah, but they also made that game Lords of the Fallen. I don't think I ever talked about, they made 2 of them, right? They made one back. I remember when the Xbox One, right around the launch of it, I think it was just Lord of the Fallen, and then this one's Lords of the Fallen. But again, those are like similar to, like to me, like a Souls-like open world. But yeah, that second one, it didn't really interest me much. I played it a good 2 hours, and I just kind of stopped. I don't think the graphics look very good on it, on that Lords of the Fallen, the newest one. So yeah, I just went back and I'm like, I'm just going to play Elden Ring. This game is beautiful. But back to Atlas Fallen, it is not a Souls-like, so it's just a straight up RPG. So it's a hack and slasher to me. That third person, kind of a little bit of a top view or back, like I don't know, just think of Gears of War or something,
You playing Lords of the Fallen?
No. So I'm playing Atlas Fallen.
Oh,
not Lords of the Fallen. So same name, same developer.
That game came out like how many years ago?
Yeah, well, they made a new one, Jesus. They made a newer one, and I think it came to Game Pass. I think, again, graphically, I'm just going to go back to Lords of the Fallen. I have to actually get the name correct to actually research it, but I played it on I want to say the Xbox X, and the graphics did not appeal to me at all. I think they were just not on par with anything I wanted out of that game. They looked dull to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the colors, any of that. Enemies were okay, right? And combat was good, but yeah, I don't know. It just didn't feel satisfying and, going through the world. So yeah, I think I just uninstalled it. Yeah, and it wasn't like I felt like, oh, this game's hard or even difficult. I've been playing so much Elden Ring, right? That should be something I really get into. So, but yeah, back to Atlas Fallen. No, this game that came out a year ago, I think it's actually pretty. It's got really good graphics. The combat feels good. It reminds me of a few games I can't think of the name of, where it's like, what are you doing? You're sand skating, right? Like, okay, cool. Pressing the left stick to go down the hill. Like, it's almost like that continuous dash, like, oh, that feels pretty cool. It's got the double jump. It's got all the things I want out of a good hack and slash RPG.
Yeah, because I've always wanted the sand skating in my hack and slash games, Gunny.
Gosh,
come on, Gunny. Fucking sand skating when you bring to the table. Skating.
Hey, this is. I know it's not a new mechanic, but it felt pretty damn fucking good. Baiting enemies.
Oh fuck.
But I like the simple shit. X, strike. Y is a heavy strike. RB is evade. Here's a good one that they added, Jesus. I forgot what it's called. It's called skin something or rather. So when an enemy strikes you, you press the LB button, boom, it'll basically freeze the enemy. So it's probably freeze skin is what it is. So it's kind of cool. And then you can just kind of wail on the enemy for a little bit. So far, just kind of your small, normal little, fucking little creature bull enemies that, you're just killing. And the story so far is like, it's just okay. I feel like the the voice acting is actually good, but as far as like, I'll just give like this little bit of a spoiler. It's just a minor little spoiler. When you get to this camp and you're talking to the captain, and well, hell, you don't even know why the fuck you're even there. So then you kind of come up and you're like, hey, I need to leave the camp. I need to go find, one of our fallen comrades. I forgot. She's like something like the fucking Oracle or something. I forgot what he called her. And of course the captain's like, and it's weird. Like you got like these two choices. You can ask politely and nobly or whatever, or you can just tell him you're leaving. Like, I demand that I leave. But I just ask politely and see what happens. And then he's like, well, oh yeah, I've heard of her. She's cool, I guess. You know what? Just go ahead and leave. You're one less mouth to feed. And I thought, what a fucking asshole this guy is. What a dick. I should have asked like an asshole and just said, fuck you, I'm leaving, Jerk. But no, then there's like this weird fucking twist and some stuff that happens after that. So I'm like, I knew it. I knew you were a fucking asshole. Hopefully,
Okay.
hopefully I kill him in the end. I'm determined. So, but yeah, so far I really like the combat, and I don't know about this being like open worldy stuff. I'll back up a little bit. What it does, like in the very, very beginning, here's the tutorial. It's automatic. You have to do it. Press A to jump. Press A to twice to jump. Okay. RB is evade. And then, okay, that's all cool. But then even after all that and you get to the camp, it does it again. I'm like, okay, really? Was this a game design screw up over here? I already learned this. Let's go, So I don't know. I think somebody said like, oh, the games are doing that nowadays, but you can't skip it. Like, I don't need a second tutorial. It's pretty simple already. Like what to do. I know on the Xbox controller, it's X to fucking kill an enemy, whatever. But yeah, that's Atlas Falling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good Game Pass get. It got like a 64 on Metacritic, so not the best. Other than that,
that don't sound too hot on Metacritic.
Yeah, no. But I don't know. I like the graphics, Mail. Let me know what you think if you do download this and try it out. But yeah, other than that, it's just been a lot of just other No Man's Sky. I've been playing that on the Xbox X, and that game's cool. It's got that whatever fucking update shit to it. So it like it just like I'm so low, such a low level. I'm like, I don't know what they added. Just shit, I'm probably gonna need when I'm level 50 or something.
Yeah, I remember looking at that game a while back, and I'm like, that game has changed so much since its early days. That
It's way different if you haven't played it. If you haven't played it from the beginning.
I think I messed around with it like maybe 2 years ago in VR when I was messing around with my VR. I launched it and was messing with it in VR. But to play it on the actual PC on a regular screen, it would probably be a lot different than what it was way back in the day.
It's a huge game, dude. I mean, I have a coworker of mine who on the PlayStation, he told me he spent 2,000 hours in that game. 2,000 hours just doing one thing. And he built a fucking Dyson sphere in the game.
Damn.
Like, it took him 2,000 fucking hours to do, dude. And I was like, what the fuck?
I wonder now, Jesus, with the story the way it is, like, versus when you first played it, because you played that game right at launch. Yeah. And from what I understand, like, I guess, like, there's so much to do between all that story now. Like, 1,000 hours just seems like it's pretty reasonable now.
Oh, it's
as far as
reasonable.
Like, I mean, because you can just go to I don't know how many planets you can have. I think it's 3. I could be wrong on that. Ghost Nico knows. But I think I saw a slot for like basically 3 different camps, 3 different planets. But it's probably more than that. They probably upped that.
You probably do a lot of crazy shit in that game. But yeah, it's way different from what it used to be. So yeah, I suggest you play it if you haven't. Last time I played it, I got what did I get? I got like a big starship cruiser thing or whatever. Like I called it the SS HGP or something like that.
Yeah, and they're really cool. Like some of these ships now are just so awesome looking. Yeah, you can find derelict ships that are basically on planets, right? And then you have to repair them and you keep them for yourself. You can sell them. You can have a full collection. I don't know. It's just, and I even asked Ghostingo. I said when I first started playing the game, and I'm like, hey, so as far as this like lengthy tutorial that this thing gave me, and introducing me to this, I'm going to call it an elusive story because it's not like, oh, what the story is. Like, basically, you just don't. It's hard to tell, like, because you don't know who you are or whatever, right? Like, you keep reaching out to other people or they reach out to you via radio. Like, oh, you don't remember who you are. You're a liar. Just stuff like that. So, I'm sure. But I asked him, like, so do I have to follow the story? Like, how does that work? Like, all the main quests, like, when do I do those versus side quests? He goes, Henley, you just do whatever you want in this game. Like, it really is like an open, solar system of a game. As far as like, yeah, you don't have to, it doesn't mean like you can't level up or, get better tools or ships or anything. So, yeah, so it's a big game. It's huge. Let's see what else have I been playing. Just all the other great stuff that I like to do is play my bullet hell games. Death Must Die. I think I played that on both the Steam Deck and on this junky old PC of mine as well. So I'm getting better at that. I've got my, I always want to say necromancer, but I've got my regular soldier with a sword and other character that kind of like, not a witch or whatever, but she just floats around and shoots projectiles. And yeah, that game is cool. It's like a Vampire Survivor, so a lot of fun. I recommend it. More Project Zomboid, doing all my modding. Just installing more mods until I break the game, and then or until I get eaten. So I love just going back and playing that game and finding out all the cool mods. It's so much fun. So I might spend 1 hour in a game. I might spend like 7 hours in a not in a full session, but before I accidentally back myself into a wall with a broken baseball bat and get my face torn off. So, but yeah, pretty much that's all the things. Oh, Jesus, more Be Castled. More Be Castled. That game's so much fun as well. So yeah, I've got a pretty good base going right now. Sometimes I choose like the larger hills or the what do they call them? Just the smaller hills, and trying to get up my walls, put around my wooden walls. And I think what it is, one of the things I'm doing wrong is I don't know if I'm building too many houses, but basically I'm running out of food. But I feel like you can't unlock enough cells because it doesn't let you without the resources. I do wonder. This is a question for you, Jesus. If I don't build houses, right? You know how there's people that come out of the basically of the castle hold or whatever they call it. That there's no homes for them. But if I don't build the houses, I wonder, like, yeah, I just wonder, like, are they actually eating some of the food as well? Because I feel like there's like a starvation, but even before winter. And yeah, I'll have a hunting camp or 2 hunting camps. I'll have 2 wheat fields, maybe a farm thrown in there as well. But I guess even when you say you have like 34 people in your community, it just, I don't know, like something, it's almost like a roguelike where I feel like, oh, this is the part where, it even shows you like your food is going to start running into the negative or whatever.
What game is this?
No, this is Be Castled.
Oh, I haven't played it in a long time. I haven't played it since they added a happiness update to it or something like a long time ago. Probably early this year that I played that game. It's just been a long time.
Yeah. So one thing here is one tip. Basically, just put all the houses in one area. Just keep them all together.
I don't do that. I put the houses near their workplaces.
Do you?
So if I have a mine set up somewhere, or I have a lumber camp somewhere, I tend to put like a house near there so the workers can go to. So because at night they all run and hide at their houses, right? All the workers.
Yeah, but
if you have all the houses bunched up in one area, and the enemy is coming, they all tend to run at the same time towards that area, and it kind of bunches everything up. So I like to make it to where they can all get to safety quickly. Like they can all get inside a house as quickly as possible and hide.
Well, if you remember with that game, it doesn't work that way. They actually auto hide. So they run back before the enemy even arrives. But maybe you haven't seen it. So since the update, let's say you want to take a house, right? And you want to put it near like your stone mine or your sun's fucking shine, whatever that shit's called. Or even it's weird, like even like a farm or whatever. It kind of shows you like the happiness meter. And it just runs into the negative anytime you want to put it like, even near
if you put it near a workplace that's like a mine because it's pollution, it'll drop their happiness meter. So to combat that, you have to what I did to combat that is I added like decorations around there.
Oh, that's
so
a good point.
I put like fucking scarecrows and like benches and random barrels and random lights and shit around there to counteract the negatives of being into the workplace.
Yeah, even like the simple little. You're right. I haven't unlocked the decorations yet in my last 2 playthroughs. I think that's a little bit later in game.
Once you unlock the decorations, those come in handy. Those are easily usable to like combat negative or whatever, the mood meter going down or whatever.
Yeah.
That and taverns, I try to use taverns as much as I can as well. I'll have like sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 taverns just in different areas of the map, just so they can go to a tavern that's close to them, like for whatever reason to increase happiness or whatever. So last time I had a huge kingdom, dude. It was probably the size of the quarter of the map. It was like to the edge of the map, pretty much.
Damn.
Across the entire middle section of the map. And so I always knew where the enemy was going to spawn, either on the one side or the other side, because it can't spawn in my area, right? So, yeah, I had a huge map, and I had like all these ballistas. I had like tons of soldiers, probably like 90 soldiers to 100. And I had like a shitload of workers. I had a lot of people, man. It was a big kingdom that I ended up building. I was like, this is huge. And the game ended up crashing because I think it was just too much shit going on at the same time, where it just started to crash. And I was like, oh no. So I don't know. But yeah, that game was fun.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. I play that at least once or twice a week. So it's awesome. But yeah, that's all I've been playing, guys.
All right. Well, real quick, I guess I'll get into what I've been playing. Today I did play a little bit of Battlefield 2042, Mayo. I went back to that. And they have a new jet in there. It's like a stealth bomber jet. It looks like a stealth bomber, like a B-12 bomber or something. But the crazy thing about this jet is that the fucker turns invisible, dude. So you'll be flying and you'll be chasing a jet. Next thing you know, it goes invisible and you can't fucking see it, dude. You really cannot see it. Like a Wonder Woman jet. Yeah, you can't fucking see it, man. You're like, where the fuck did it go? Like, it goes invisible, and if you lose track, because you know how, like, in video games where things go invisible, you kind of see the outline of things or whatever a little bit, Like, if it's invisible, you could kind of see the outline. Well, this fucking thing turned invisible, dude, and I could kind of see the outline for a second, and it must have turned or something, but I lost track of it so fast. I'm like, that is a cool shit. I need to figure out how to unlock it. And I figured out to unlock it, I have to get, like, it's kind of hard. You have to get like 50 troop kills on the ground with the jet. So you have to kill 50 infantry soldiers on the ground with the jet. And that's fucking hard because if you don't have because all you have is your minigun, right? That you can shoot at the ground. So like you have to dive towards the ground, shoot your minigun, and hope you hit someone and kill them. or like use one of the wire-guided missiles to shoot a tank, and hopefully there's people standing near it. It's fucking difficult. So I've been kind of fucking around with that a little bit in Battlefield, playing a little bit of Conquest, trying to figure out the jets, trying to get better at it. But there's some really good players in there, man. The other day I was playing a match, and every time I got in a jet, this fucking guy would come in and just fucking kill all our jets. He would kill all of us. Like, I don't even know how. The guy was like he was like fucking Maverick from Top Gun or something, dude. This motherfucker was good. He would just come in, and we'd all be dead. Like, in 2 seconds, our jets would be down, and we're like, how the fuck is this guy killing us so fast? And I ended up killing him with an AA gun from the ground. I was like, yeah, motherfucker, I got you finally. I got my revenge. But yeah, Battlefield is actually kind of fun. When you get a full lobby with like the 160 players or whatever, it's actually quite fun, or 120 players or whatever. It's actually quite fun. But I play a little bit of that.
Playing? I mean, is it often you get a full lobby now, or
yeah?
A while you said it was kind of quiet.
In Conquest, you do. I haven't played Breakthrough recently, but in Conquest, you're still able to find full lobbies. So I'm assuming it helps that it's in like that EA Pass bullshit, you know, that fucking like it's free on there, and that's included with Game Pass. So I'm assuming that boosts the numbers quite a bit. But yeah, there's still cosmetics being sold in there. There's still like a team over at DICE that they're still doing like a little bit of like gameplay modes or whatever that they end up doing every so often, like every 2 weeks they'll switch up like the gameplay mode or whatever, or I like some new wacky mode to it or whatever. The most recent one that I could think of was a Dead Space mode. They had like some Dead Space crossover thing with Dead Space. I don't know what the fuck that was about, but you had to fight zombies or something, and like you were trying to capture the base from the zombies or some weird shit. I don't know. But besides Battlefield, I did end up playing like one match of Call of Duty, and then that's it. I'm done with COD for now till the new one comes out. And then
so we're not going to hear until the new one comes out. Like,
we'll
get like
unless there's a new battle pass.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get a break till the new one comes out. I'm done with this one, and even the new one, I'm not even sure I'm gonna get it. Like, I'm okay. I shouldn't say that, right? Because I know I'm gonna get it, but I don't want to get it. You know what I mean? There's nothing compelling me to like buy it. Like, whatever I've seen from the update of the gameplay, it looks the same. I'm like, why am I wasting my money? Why am I wasting my money in this game every fucking year? What am I doing myself?
On Game Pass then, or
I mean, why don't you do that?
I might.
Just do like a month.
Yeah,
just do a Game Pass for a month.
So I did that, but then I recently, right now, when we were on the podcast, I ended up subscribing to Ubisoft Plus to play that Star Wars Outlaws, because Ubisoft told me they don't want me to buy their game; they want me to subscribe.
Right.
Okay. So I listened to Ubisoft and I subscribed and I paid them $18, and I'll check this game out. And because the cool thing is, like me, if you're undecided about the game, right? Say you aren't really sure you're gonna like it or not. $18 is a pretty easy buy-in when you get the Ultimate Edition of the game. So I'm getting all the pre-order bonuses. I'm getting like the Ultimate Edition, like all the extra shit that comes with the game, right? Like if I was to buy the $100 version of the game. So $18 is a pretty cheap price, I feel like, to get that access. And even
I feel like it is too. Yeah, I did it for 1 month. I did the 15 for a month.
Yeah, and Xbox
years ago to play some of their exclusives.
Yeah, and the Xbox players can do it too. And if you have a PC and an Xbox, you get both. Like it said on my thing when I signed up, it said if you have an Xbox, link your account, and you'll be able to play these games on your Xbox. And apparently they have a partnership with Luna. You can even play it on your phone via Luna Cloud Gaming. It said that they have a partnership with Luna to use Luna as a cloud gaming service. So you can actually just stream this shit to your phone, I guess, or whatever. So even if you don't have a fucking expensive PC, you can use a laptop and stream it to your laptop. So there you go, people. No excuses to play it.
Yeah, I did see that on the Uplay app on there.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool for people that don't have consoles, or say you had an Xbox or a PlayStation, but it broke, and you're too poor or whatever to get it fixed or replaced.
You still have the controller. Yeah,
you have the controller. You go to Ubisoft, you pay $18 a month, Gunny and Mayo, and then you pay Microsoft another $20 a month for Game Pass Ultimate. And boom, now you have access to like 400 games from Ubisoft and Xbox that you can just cloud stream.
Yeah, let me see. Let me do the math on that. So let's say you did. So that's in a year, it's $456.
That's the price of a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel like, okay, I guess in that situation, I guess it's a good deal, right? Like, I know some people are yelling at me like, why the fuck would you pay $456 a year to play all these you get the two services.
Man, some people may not have $500 to drop on a console, but they will have $40 to drop on a subscription. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
I'm sure there are people in that situation that do that.
Yeah. Anyways, besides all that, though, I did end up playing some more of that Norland game, Norland. Now it's gotten another update recently, and it's that game is just getting harder and harder. And I think with the recent patches, they must have nerfed the citizens, because I do my kingdom. I have like a pretty big fucking kingdom. And I have all these workplaces and all these like factories and shit going for weapons and armor and food and pig farms for meat and fields for rutabaga and all this shit, like all these vegetables and shit, but not enough workers. And my citizen count never goes past 110. It never goes past that. It gets to 110, and then people start dying. It says, oh, people are leaving your kingdom. People are dying because of old age or whatever. And it's like, okay, whatever. But then I get new immigrants that come in. And it's like, okay, +2, +3 every day, +4. And I go and I capture people and I like raid bandit camps and I arrest people and I put them in my prison. Now I have workers for my fields and shit. And it's like, you have all this extra food. I have like 1,000 food, like 500 beer. I have all this shit for them. And like I'm paying them, like my soldiers get paid like 20 gold a day, which is pretty high. I pay my citizens, like my workers, like 15 gold a day. That's more than enough for them to buy food and alcohol and be happy and have like an extra money left over every night. And it still doesn't increase my population. And I've researched on Reddit for hours. How the fuck is my population not growing? And people are saying that
grow.
Yeah, if the happiness is high, which mine is, and your people are fed, and you have enough alcohol to keep them from being tired, because alcohol combats fatigue or whatever. Because at night they go and party and they drink. It's supposed to combat fatigue, and that stuff. If you have the food, as long as you have people fed and people with alcohol and like enough alcohol for everyone, even your lords and everything. Everyone's happy, and you have enough housing that's open, people will immigrate to your kingdom. But I looked on Reddit, and people said that during one of the patches, that they noticed that before the patch, they had like up to like 500 people in their kingdom. And now after the patch, they could only ever get up to 100 and something. And that people just start dying. And they think that the developer nerfed it, like they just capped it softly on the back end to 110 people in your kingdom. Yeah. Which sucks, dude, because that 110 is where you have as people in your kingdom, but you also need to have an army. And if your army is not big enough, then you can't fight other armies. So like I have a 40-person army, but I'm recruiting people from my kingdom. So every time I recruit 10 people from my kingdom into my army, I lose 10 citizens. So that means I got to wait like 5 days for those 10 citizens to get replaced. Because the immigrants only come like by 2 or by 3 each day, you know what I mean? It'll be like +2, +1, +3, +5, +4. It just depends on the day that it'll increase or decrease the amount of immigrants that come into your village. Now, so that game is fucking hard, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. I have a bunch of vassals under my control. Like, I have most of my neighboring kingdoms are under my control now, and I'm pretty much going to try to do it to where I'm going to try to control the whole map. I'm going to try to take over the entire map and have everyone be vassalized under my kingdom. Like, I'm going to be the king of everything. There's another kingdom that's across the map,
right?
Yes, you can declare yourself emperor, but when you, like I said last time, when you declare yourself emperor, the fucking Inquisition comes with like super strong soldiers. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to wipe out all the enemy factions in the game, like all these other fucking because the game has racism in it. So like when you start the game off, you pick your race. All right, so like I'm the Varn. The Varn are the people. They're like, think of like Nords in Skyrim or something. I'm the Varn. There's the Maka people, there's the Tanaya people, and then there's the Kaden people. There's like 4 different races. And now every so often, like if the Varn people in your village, like say a bunch of Kaden people moved in, like 50 people or 40 people from the Kaden race move into your village. And then when people start starving or like something happens to your crops, the fucking rats start eating it, or some crazy shit happens, right? People start like there's a lot of robbers in your kingdom all of a sudden, a lot of crime going on. People are getting attacked at night, people or whatever. A lot of crime going on. The people that are your race in your village, like the Varn people, they will start looking at the Tanaya people or the Kaden people as the enemy. They're like, fuck them people, like they're the reason all the bad shit's happening to us. Like, fuck them. And then after a while, if you don't control, like if you don't start imprisoning the Kaden or the Tanaya people or whatever, the people that they think are the problem, the people's take it up in their own hands. So they fucking start a riot and they just go and murder everyone that they see on the street that's from the other race. So it'll be like a huge riot, fucking like a huge race riot in your village, dude. And you gotta send your army out there to control everyone, and it's fucked. It's fucked. So like the game really has some crazy scenarios like that where like a race riot can start. If one of your lords, say my lords are mostly Varn, right? They're all Varn. But the fucking bishop that comes to my town, he starts having sex with the peasants in the village. If he gets one of the peasants pregnant and she has his kid, that kid automatically becomes a lesser lord of my house. Like he becomes like a ward of my house, and he's like a lord in my house, right? Like a lesser lord. If I upgrade that kid to have a title in my house, like there's 6 title slots that you can put people in, and those are the lords of your house. Then you have lesser lords. But if say one of my lords dies and I upgrade that kid and I give him the title, if the king grants him a title, and that person is from another race because the bishop was just fucking like a random peasant from another race, all the other lords, sometimes they'll hate that person. They'll be like, fuck that guy. That guy, fuck that guy. He's from another race. We don't like him. And they'll try to like murder him. They'll try to murder.
Not very conclusive, is it?
No, they'll try to fucking murder him, dude. They'll try to burn him alive in his house when he's sleeping and shit. Like I've had that happen, dude.
It's not like America 1960s here.
It's 50s. Fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, like in the middle of the night, they'll go over there and burn their fucking house down while they're in it. Or they'll like bribe like the cutthroats, like the people in your village that are criminals. They'll get bribed to like try to assassinate them and shit. And like this crazy shit happens in this game, which I love the craziness of it. But at the same time, I don't like that I cannot expand my kingdom anymore. There's like a soft cap or something on it. I hope they update it to unlock that so I can have like a massive kingdom with a huge army with like 100 people in my army. That would be amazing.
Wouldn't the game be too easy at that point? Or do you think the developer's just trying to make the game longer, right? Like take longer to actually be?
I just think that they realize that the more people they have in the game, the more the AI has to think of what to do, like how to send people to work and shit. And I think they haven't figured out how it won't break the game. Like if they have too many people on the screen,
makes sense.
How the game won't, because every so often the game will even freeze on me when I'm playing, like as I'm playing right now. It'll like sometimes it'll hiccup on me and it'll be like, game is not responding. Do you want to close the program or keep it going? And I'll keep it going, and it eventually catches up, and it kind of keeps the game going. But I've had hard crashes on it where like my whole PC will just freeze because of it. Like, so like optimization needs to be updated, and I think that's what the dev is working on.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yep, I've seen the game do that.
But I love that game. It's fucking fun. It really is a lot of fun.
It looks really cool. I never actually looked at it on Steam. And the art style
really
is different than what I thought of in my mind. Like I thought
it's
it could be different.
It's like Stardew Valley, kind of.
Yeah, it reminds me of a cross between Stardew Valley and something you would see in what was that? Little side-scrolling beat 'em up game with the Castle Crashers.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me of those two art styles mixed together. Like the way the people look like they're walking around look like Castle Crashers people.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and then you get the art style of like you said, Stardew. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty interesting. It's the craziness. It sounds like it can happen, and just the randomness.
There's so much shit. Like the wolves will sometimes like if you don't like hunt the wolves enough in your kingdom, it'll like the wolves are it'll overpopulate with wolves. And all of a sudden, like a thing will happen. Like there are these things called prophecies that come up, and these prophecies are usually bad things. Like, oh, the bishop has announced a new prophecy. The fucking wolves are going to attack your village in a few days because there's too many of them. So like a pack of wolves is going to attack. So next thing you know, you gotta like have your army on standby for like a fucking week straight. You gotta have your army like ready to go, dude. Like you gotta be like, okay, I gotta be on top of this shit because. Next thing you know, your village will be attacked by like fucking 20 wolves, like in a huge pack. And if your army's not there to defend people, then those wolves are going to be eating everyone. And they will eat everyone. They'll just fucking murder the whole town, dude. It's fucking crazy. It is fucking crazy. But yeah, I love that game. Fun fucking little game.
Nice.
Besides that, though, I did play more Helldivers. Now, I'm working on my 4th or 5th Battle Pass now. I ended up buying Democratic Detonation because I wanted the grenade pistol. Because that grenade pistol is pretty cool for closing bug holes. It's really helpful. But they fucking gave us an order to kill 5,000 of those Bio Titans, which are like the huge Titan alien things. Oh man, I don't even know if we did it. I haven't even checked. I haven't logged in to check. Last time I was logged in, we were like halfway through that. And I don't know, it was 5,000 is a lot of those, too, because those things are huge and they're a bitch to kill. They take, like, sometimes they'll take an airstrike to the face and they'll just keep walking at you like nothing hit them. It's like, oh my God. So it gets pretty chaotic. So yeah, Helldivers 2, man. It's still a lot of fun. Still cool people playing that game. The other day that I was playing and I was having like bad frame rate drops, like really bad, Mayo. Like my shit was dropping to like the 30s. Like I could see it chopping on my screen. Mm-hmm. It was bad, and it hasn't been that bad in a long time. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but it was bad, dude. It was like a slideshow. I couldn't even move. Like the game was like freezing. Like it felt like it was freezing on me. Like it was really weird, dude. I don't know what the fuck was going on. It tripped me out.
Didn't you say the other day you were having an issue on your PC? Like you were playing something when we jumped in together, and something had like a hitch to it. Then you restarted, or something.
It was that game. It was that game. Yeah,
so
that's
whatever,
the game.
Whatever the latest update was is probably what did it.
Probably fucked it up. Yeah, because they did do a hot fix like a week ago for like something. They patched something big last week, and then they're like, "Oh, we did a hot fix for some other shit we fucked up." I was like, "Oh fuck!" And ever since then, I've been having issues. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. But besides all that, I ended up playing some other games this week. I ended up playing some Borderlands 3. I did play some of that. That thing is pretty fun.
I did install that on my Xbox. I haven't been. I mean, I finished all of them. I think except for the pre-sequel, but yeah. I
played some Borderlands 3. Was running around on that. I'm like level 25 in it, but I was having a hard time in some of those levels, dude. I'm like, fuck, these enemies are fucking me up. Like, there's too many.
Yeah, I remember.
It can be. It
Yeah,
can
I
be
remember
rough.
getting to a point in that game where like I had a boss fight I couldn't get past, and I just ended up quit playing it. Like you almost needed a couple people to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to do it, Jesus, by myself though. I was able to complete it.
It was
It is
a
hard.
helicopter boss. Like they were like above you, and you had to like hide behind these crates, and you had to like I can't remember what it was, but I remember being some kind of like helicopter from above. It was like in a city.
Just keep running, Jesus. There we go. There's a good. Yeah, you just got to keep
I
running.
have done that. I have done that in the past where I just kept running. There was a part where I died.
That seemed to work for me.
There was a part where I died like 2 or 3 times, and then I was like, "Fuck, I gotta figure this out." And finally killed the person. But yeah, that game was fun. What else did I play?
What character do you know what you're playing in Borderlands 3?
I'm the chick who has the mech.
Oh yeah.
She has like a mech. I don't know.
I forgot her name, but yeah.
But she has like a mech thing, and the mech comes in handy, but it runs out of fuel really fast. But it does come in handy. It'll get me out of a pinch if I really need it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then also another pro tip. Jesus, I'm sure you've played Borderlands 1 and 2, but one of the things I do, and I don't know about you, Mayo, but your trash mobs that come in, I tend to try and like shoot them a couple times, or at least get them to half health. That's usually my strategy. Or I'll get them down in health, so then any other enemy stronger than them around me, like when they do get me down, when let's say you are like you're 25 now, but when you're like 10 or 15, like and then they fucking down you, like, okay, all right, I need that other little trash mob guys to come over here, so I can get back up again.
Yeah. But what else did I play this week in the last couple of weeks, actually? I ended up playing some Hell Let Loose the other day. And that was actually quite a bit of fun. I was playing with I don't know who I was playing, just randoms, I guess. But
weren't you playing with the other real Mayo? Was that him?
Yeah.
You sent the screenshot.
Battlefield or
no? That was Battlefield. Yeah, you're right. That was Battlefield.
That's what I thought it was.
But in the other one,
Mayo.
It was called like something Mayo. I forget what but it was like Mayo 01 at the end of it. But it was like, I don't know what it said in the beginning, but it was something Mayo 01. I was like, hey, a better Mayo.
Right.
But I was playing Hell Let Loose the other day, and it's quite a bit of fun, man. It reminds me a lot of Battlefield 1. With like or Battlefield 5 with like the World War II shit. And it's actually quite crazy. That game is nuts. Hell Let Loose. It's like fucking insane, dude. I was in there. I didn't even know what the fuck to do. I was listening to my squad leader guy, and he's like, all right, boys, we gotta take this bridge. And there was one bridge across this fucking map. I don't know what map it was, but it was like one bridge, and there was fucking, dude, we got to the bridge. And there's like fucking artillery fire coming down on us, fucking smoke coming in. I couldn't see shit. I couldn't see anywhere. And I was like, "Who the fuck am I shooting at?" I'm shooting that way, but I don't know if I'm gonna hit my friendlies. And then we have artillery fire coming in, Gunny. Fucking just every 2 seconds, artillery.
It's chaotic.
It's just boom, boom, boom coming down, like loud ass artillery coming down around you. And then you're just trying to move forward on this bridge, and you're getting annihilated by these machine gunners on the other side of the bridge, just fucking laying fire down. It was fucking nuts. I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is fucking crazy.
It does get intense, and you will get hit from that. So the artillery fire, I noticed that what would you call that? Like just the metal fucking little pieces coming off of it will kill you. Like you might think, oh, I'm not that close. You think like when you play Battlefield and then you play this game, you don't play it the same. You don't just keep running in and you get hit like a couple little times and then your health goes back up. No, you die. That's
you have to fucking bandage yourself. I got shot or something, and it was like, bandage yourself or you're gonna fucking bleed out. I'm like bleeding out. My guy's like limping everywhere. I'm like trying to bandage myself in the mud.
I think you only get one bandage. I think that's it. If you're not a medic.
You get one bandage for yourself. I'm like, what the fuck? It was insane, dude. It was fucking nuts. I was like, Oh, this is a little too much for me right now. So
It can get super intense, and you have to know how. It's a very strategic game, yeah. Especially that's cool. Like when you got a commander.
Oh no, yeah, we had a commander. Yeah, we had a squad leader, and he was talking to the commander. Leader, yeah. We had the squad leader, and then we had the commander. The commander was giving orders to the squad leaders.
Correct.
And the commander was like calling in like I guess the commander can like call in like special shit to help us. And he was calling in like special shit, like I don't know if it was airstrikes or I don't know what the fuck he was calling in, but he was calling in something, and it was helping us because they would push us off an objective, and then we push them off, and then we keep going, and then yeah, man, it was pretty wild. It was
yeah. So unless you're like, for anybody out there listening, like I think it's just the only people you can hear is your squad leader and your other teammates, and of course, I think if you can just, the proximity, you can switch over to that. Yeah. And then you can switch over, to that one pretty like on the fly or whatever, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Even via controller, but easier on a mouse and keyboard. And it's pretty cool, like especially if you see a medic, right, and you're in that proximity, because they're far and few between when it comes to medics. Like not everybody chooses medic, so you could just medic just keep calling for one, but they have to be in the vicinity to hear it. Yeah. I've literally only found one time in like 10 hours of gameplay where I'm like, shit, there's a medic. Let me call him over.
Well, it's because each squad in the game has like a set, like you have a set number of roles. Like there's only one squad leader in the squad. There could be 2 riflemen. There could be like 2 assault class, 1 machine gunner, 1 support class, and 1 engineer and 1 medic per squad.
Yeah. Correct.
So like if your people pick like 2 gunner or like a gunner, engineer, 2 riflemen, and 2 other guys or the assault guys, then there's no medic in your squad because there's only 6 people per squad. Like so like you have to know your role. And like if you're playing as the scout class, like the sniper class, like you're sniping, you're out there sniping people and shit. But your role is not really to be a sniper. Your role is to be a scout.
Right. You're a spotter. Yep.
You are to go forward to enemy front lines and like spot people and call it back to the commander and be like, hey, we got a tank moving in from this location, or we got a convoy coming in from this side. And then like if you're a tank driver, like in the tank, if you have a tank, you have to really have 3 people in the tank. You got to have the guy that's the commander. He's like the one that's telling you what to do. There's the guy who's loading the gun and the guy who like drives the tank or whatever.
And the one that repairs it.
Yeah, so like you got to have like everyone's in their role, and you got to play your role. If you do not play the role that you're at, you're fucked. Like the tank is gonna blow up right away. Like if you get into a fight with another tank, you're dead. You got to know your role in the tank. Also, like I tried using the artillery because we had artillery at our base. I went up to the artillery gun. I had no clue how to use that thing, dude, because you legit have to do math. You have to know how high to aim it.
Right. Yep.
Like how many meters high you want it to be aimed, and how far. Like you have to know the math of like, say like, okay, we have enemies on this grid on the map. So you look at your map, you look at the grid, and you're like, okay, like Bravo 95. That's the grid. That's the square they're in. So now you got to do the math. You got to kind of ping it, then you got to kind of aim towards it. You got to have to like kind of like do the math to know how high to elevate the artillery so it can go further, or like, you know, or it can go closer or further out. You got to like point it up and down and shit, and like know how to aim it, dude. If you don't know how to aim it, you're gonna fucking blow up your own team, which I did. I ended up blowing up like my team, I think.
Team kill.
Because I
squad wipe.
And then somebody came up to me. Somebody came up to me and shot me in the head. Like one of my teammates came up to me and shot me in the head. I'm thinking I probably wiped him out or killed him or something with the artillery fire. And he just came over and shot me in the head.
I killed him, sir. I killed that Jesus guy.
That
He was fucking wiping our team out left and right.
That dumbass Northern Street our team. Why are we losing the objective, guys? I'm fucking wiping my own team out. Shit. But yeah, that game is fun, man. Hell let loose. Go play it if you haven't. It's on consoles and everything. Yeah, it's a fun game. But besides all that,
Jesus. No, real quick here. Did you play because I did play a little bit of it, and that's The Last Train Home. Did you try that out on Steam?
No, I've seen it, and I've seen it on sale before. It's been recommended to me by Steam because it's like, these are like the games you like to play. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, you're not so much into the RTSs, are you? But I feel like, yeah, I just played a little bit of it, but it seems pretty cool. I think you'll like the story and about it. I think they're all like in the motherland of Russia, I believe.
Yeah, you're like you're like a Eastern European fucking army squad or something trying to get through Russia.
Something like that. You're mercenaries. I don't know what who you're fighting or why or
there's something going on after the World War I, and you're trying to get back home or something. But the train that you're on goes through Russia, and Russia's having the revolution. So they got like the White Army and the Red Army or whatever fighting with each other.
Correct. I don't know if that's historically correct, but it might be, and never did research it. But
that really did happen. There was a revolution in Russia. That's when they killed the Tsar, dude. They killed him and his whole family.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Rasputin. Fucking, I think he lived. Or maybe he died with them. Nobody knows, Gunny.
I know who you're talking about. I've read about him.
That's where Rasputin comes from. The guy from like the cartoon, the Anastasia movie.
That's what I heard. That's what I was told. Yep.
The wizard dude. Okay. Listen, man. That story is crazy with that dude. I don't know if you guys ever heard the story of Rasputin, Mayo. But he was this guy, right?
He had a record store, Mayo. He's got a record store.
Listen, Mayo. Listen. Okay, listen. Rasputin, okay. Back in like the 1900s, the Russians had like a king, right? They had a king, or he wasn't a king. He was called a czar or whatever. But he was like a king. He was a monarch, and he was like the leader of Russia. He was like the king, the emperor, or whatever of Russia. And he had a family, of course, but he had a son, and his son was always sick, like really sick with like fucking fevers and fucking colds, and yeah, like everyone thinks he had like some sort of like an actual disease, but he was like undiagnosed because back then doctors didn't know what the fuck it was. But nowadays it'd probably be like fucking like, I don't know, name a disease that's like chronic or whatever, like asthma or something. Anyways, this kid had that, and the Russian doctors didn't know how the fuck to cure this kid. Well, I don't know. The Rasputin guy shows up to the royal family, and he's like, "Yo, I can fix your kid." And they're like, no one fucking knew who this guy was. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? And this motherfucker like made the kid feel a little bit better. So the queen, the queen of Russia or whatever, the lady who was married to the Tsar, she ended up fucking like believing in Rasputin so much that Rasputin ended up getting like he became like a fucking like a noble, like he went from being like a nobody, like a no one knew who the fuck this guy was, to like all of a sudden being in the court of the fucking Tsar. Like he had like a whole ass seat in the court, like he had a say so on the shit that happened in Russia and all this crazy shit. And when the revolution happened, people were fucking trying to kill them all, and they ended up killing them all eventually.
Damn.
They killed the whole the entire family, the dad, the son, the daughters, the wife, Rasputin, his servants that were with him when he was found. They fucking shot him all, dude. They shot him all or whatever. And you know what's the crazy thing about when they got shot? They said that when they shot the Tsar's family, that the people that shot them had to shoot them so many times because they had so much gold and jewelry on that the jewels and the gold and the diamonds were stopping all the bullets.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they had so much gold on their bodies that the fucking like all that shit was stopping the bullets from like going through. I'm like, holy fucking shit, how much gold do they fucking have on? But yeah, no, but Rasputin was like a crazy dude, man. He was just like a crazy fucking guy that like, I don't know, people thought he knew magic and shit, but like, yeah. And then people thought he was having an affair with the queen and all this crazy other shit between him and the queen. But he was like the right-hand man of the Tsar, dude. Like he was there like the whole time, like just fucking telling them what to do. He would advise them on what to do with like Russia.
So I mean, just a bloody coup, right? Like it was.
Oh yeah, well, people were pissed because like obviously there was like a famine or something going on in Russia. Obviously, there's a famine going on, and the people see that the royal family is eating like they're eating really good. They're having like these lavish parties all the time. You know what I mean? Like, so what do you think the people are going to do? The people start protesting. What does the fucking Tsar do? He ended up sending his army out there to tell the protesters to go the fuck away. But the army thought that they were told to shoot at the protesters, and they fucking shot at them. And that started the whole revolution. They killed like a lot of people, dude. They killed like 100 people or something one day. They just shot at the crowd. They just started shooting at the crowd of people. And they killed a bunch of people, and the people got pissed, started a whole revolution, and the Tsar ended up losing. Sucks for him.
Lost in the end.
And ever since then, Russia hasn't had a king until Vladimir Putin. He's pretty much a king.
Pretty much, right? He just elects himself every year. I don't know.
President. He calls himself the president, but that fucker wins the election every time, dude. Every single time. Just like when?
How long has he been president? Like 30 years or something?
Forever.
Gorbachev?
That motherfucker hasn't lost an election ever. Ever. Somehow his opponent always loses by a lot. Or his opponent ends up in prison.
Or they probably kill him like they do in Mexico, right? Similar.
Yeah, man, it's
right.
just whatever, dude. It's like, oh, fuck. Anyways, that was a little Rasputin talk. But besides that, guys, I did end up playing a little bit of Radio Commander. Now, Radio Commander is that game that I told you guys that I played in VR a long time ago, where you control like the squads of like tanks and military and shit in the Vietnam War, and you have objectives, right? Like escort the convoy through the checkpoints or whatever to get to the other side of the map, or send a rescue team to rescue this crashed helicopter, or like, hey, take over this land and kill all the Viet Cong in this area and like fucking destroy a base or something. It's a pretty simple game. You're controlling troops, Mail. You look at the map, you're calling out the call. You have to call the calls out to the squads, and they call back on the radio. Hey, we're getting shot at. We need a fucking escort out of here. And you can send like a helicopter to go rescue their wounded people and shit. Pretty cool little game. But what I'm really excited for that game is that the developer of that game announced that they're doing a new version of the game, but it's going to be like a king version of the game, like a medieval version. So they're saying that like you get to play the king of an empire, and like, well, I don't know, pick a fucking old timeline. I don't know, fucking 1600s, Mayo. Okay, you get to play the king. All right, and you have messengers and pigeon carriers and all that shit, and you send your pigeons off with messages to the other kingdoms and the armies that you have, and you'll have to command your armies and make decisions on it based on like the messages that you're getting from your messengers, from the people telling you what's going on and all that. But you're playing as the king of a kingdom, and you're trying to like control your troops and your people and your other kings and other lords and shit that are underneath you. Sounds like a cool concept, right? Sounds kind of like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
But they're working on it. For some reason, okay, it was really weird. They had a Kickstarter campaign to start the development of the game, but they only asked for $10,000. That seems like an extremely low amount of money.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a red flag.
To make a game, does it not?
Yeah.
You would think like a artist engineer making $130,000 a year. But I understand.
They asked for $10,000. That's it. I mean, they reached their goal on the Kickstarter campaign, but all of them said if you pledge $5, you get a copy of the early access token or whatever, and then if you pledge $60, you got a copy of the game at launch, and you got the DLC for it or whatever, the DLC pass or whatever. But I'm like, how the fuck? $10,000 does not seem like a lot of money to develop a game. Who knows, man? That's the only red flag that I saw when I saw that announcement. I'm like,
yeah,
okay. And it even said for $2,000, Gunny, you could put your logo next to their development. You know when the splash screen comes up of who developed the game or whatever, the logo of the company. You could put your own logo if you paid them $2,000 on the Kickstarter. I was like, what? That's kind of crazy. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I can see asking for 50, right? And then if they reach that pretty quickly and the game starts cooking really good, then ask for another 50. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just thinking if somebody if I started a game company with my own money, but then if I need to hire I don't know, some kind of fucking artist or engineer or somebody, right? They'd be like, you better guarantee me if I'm going to be working on this for at least 100,000. At least, right? I understand.
So you got to pay someone $70,000 to work for you for a year or whatever.
Yeah, part time, right?
$10,000 don't cover that, Mayo. $10,000 don't cover that
lunch.
shit.
No, it does not. Not quite.
Covers a month worth of work. That seems kind of crazy to me. But they said that the game is coming out early access, early 2025. So I don't know, man. Maybe this guy's working on it by himself or something. I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe it's a one-person.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Because Radio Commander doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It actually looks pretty good, but it's not that complicated. I mean, the graphics is you're in the little tent and you can move around the tent, and there's the radio and all that shit going on outside, background noises, but all you're looking at is a map, really. And you move little tokens around for your soldiers. I mean, I'm assuming the King game will be the same, where you're just moving tokens around a map. I don't know. But besides all that, I played some World War Z with Mayo and Ghost Nico the other day. We ended up installing it on the Epic Store. Since we all had it, we ended up playing some campaign. And damn, does Nico suck. God damn. Mayo.
Dave,
no. Not even kidding, Gunny. Listen. Okay, me and Mayo up in there. We're playing. All right, we die, right? Because we failed. Because Nico dragged us down. All right, Nico drags us down and makes us fail. Okay. Listen. The splash, the screen comes up, right, that says, Mayo did this many kills.
Oh, yes.
Jesus got this many headshots. Nico did this much damage. All right, it shows my kills. Jesus. 295 zombie kills. Mayo. 150-something. Nico. 7.
7. Hey, maybe he likes zombies.
7.
Hey, in Nico's defense, he was the least damaged character of the bunch, though.
He was a spotter, okay, guys? He was a spotter. There's a zombie over there, guys. Go kill it.
Then the next round we played, I think he got 9 or something like that. We were making fun of him so much, dude. I was like, Nico, can you try to get over double digits this next round? Can you try to make it to 10? Got a big achievement for Nico. It was bad, dude. It was bad.
They're so pretty. The zombies are so pretty, guys.
One match I had 790 kills, and finally Nico had 100. And I was like, okay, finally, Nico, you break some big number here. Oh, like, but still, man, I got like 800 to your 100. Like, how the fuck? It was bad. It was bad, dude. It was just, I don't know what gun he was using that he just really sucked with.
I
He
don't
said,
know.
wasn't it?
He must have
Wasn't
been
it
having a
starting
bad
him
day.
off
We
with, like,
played together on this game
the
several
shotgun
times.
or something?
yeah, he said it was a shotgun that was holding them back.
Could have been a faulty
Yeah,
12 gauge.
Yeah, it's because we were killing everything before he could get to him, I think.
I don't know, man. It was just bad. It was just like Nico held us back there quite a bit. Man,
We were just running ahead the whole time, and then
Yeah.
Nico was killing all the ones behind us.
Nico's in the back, fucking getting slammed by the big bull guy on the ground. Help me!
Well, that guy's
was the
a
punching
pain
bag.
in the butt. He
That-
killed me
yes.
quite a few times as well. That bull.
That fucking guy is an asshole. Fucking pissed me off. But that game was fun. I like that World War Z game. I hope. I mean, could they make a sequel?
I don't know. Like,
I hope so.
Ryan, like,
I hope they do.
or can they just expand upon the game they have, like add more maps? You know, because when we went back to it, they added, like, since I last played it, they had that like daily quest and stuff like that. Even though it was like a paid game,
It could be
you know, you could
grindy,
do.
like some of their, I don't know, not their weapons, but maybe I guess like some of the perks for the weapons, right? That's the grind.
The perks are grindy. Yeah, the perks are very grindy because even I'm level 29 and I'm like barely getting to the end of the gunslinger. Like barely getting to the end.
Hours of that game.
I
don't know if it's worth it. I mean, as often as we play it, right? Like a few times a year.
I hope they make a sequel to it though, because that game is actually pretty fun, and it kind of does scratch that Left 4 Dead itch. Like,
I would say that's a good successor to Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 3, right, or 2, or whatever one was the best one.
Yeah.
And then,
because Valve isn't making Left 4 Dead 3. They just aren't. They just don't want to. They don't give a fuck.
They could not give a shit.
Listen,
yeah.
They'll make Left 4 Dead 3 when we're like when I'm like 50 years old, dude.
I'll be dead.
They're gonna come out and gonna announce, good guys, look, we know you wanted this for years now. We know you've been asking for this for the last fucking 40 years. Here's Left 4 Dead 3. And they'll have some crazy cool trailer for it when I'm like 9 years old.
You know what, Jesus? Just drop a copy on my grave and say, Gunny, we get it.
They're making some new games out there, so they're busy right now, Jesus.
Yeah, I guess they're making Steam Decks and fucking.
They're making a new game.
Yeah, Deadlock is out.
Deadlock.
Deadlock. Yeah, I guess.
I got a key now. I got a key to play it. Hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Besides that, though, I ended up. What else did I play? I don't know what the fuck else I played. I think that's it. That's all I played.
Nice. Yeah, Jesus. Like a lot of my time, like the one night we sat down, and how many hours did we play? We probably played a couple hours, right? That night of World War Z.
Yeah.
I think we did the same map probably 10 times and kept struggling at the very end. Like
a lot.
Yeah, that game is crazy though. You gotta like kind of plan ahead a little bit when those last couple rounds. And that one we was doing, like we were doing it on a hard difficulty, but it's just a hard level right there, anyways. Because you have those 2 gates you got to protect, and you got to go from gate to gate. And we kept failing not because we would die, but because we couldn't, like kill enough zombies on each gate, like getting back and forth enough. That
was the hard part. Yeah.
The
stupid AI we had was fucking stupid. They didn't do nothing.
Yeah. I ended up, I think the next day, I ended up playing another round with Nico. And we tried the same level again. We had 2 AI. But yeah, it was just as difficult. We made it to the same point where you had to protect both those gates, and we just could not go from side to side without eventually dying or whatever, or just they break through the gate. It's a good game, like I said. And like you guys said, it's grindy with those weapons and stuff like that. But like, I have just one class leveled up. Like I was the lowest level guy of the group. I think I was level 22, and I think you were 26, Jesus. But yeah, you can sit there and put points in just that one class. I was using the gunslinger, and so were you.
That's
Nico
what
was
I did.
trying something else. I think I can't remember what class he was, but yeah, we were using a gunslinger, and we were we're just kind of running ahead and getting into the fights early and stuff. But played a lot of that. I've been playing a lot of Baltro still on Steam. That's a roguelike poker type game. And that game is so difficult. There's so many modes you can play to that game. Once you beat like the first mode, it'll unlock more. And the more jokers, you have these new jokers that you'll find, and the jokers will like enhance your game. But that's one of these games like you really feel like it almost reminds me of FTL, where it's difficult in the way of you really go in. Sometimes you're feeling like you have a really good run going. You can change the multipliers on your like full house, or your 3 of a kind, or your straights, and so you're getting really good points. And then you'll come against like every 3 rounds you have a boss fight, Jesus. And the boss round will be random. And I had one time it was really late. Like I had 3 more levels to beat, and I would have beat it on that level of difficulty. And I get to this last boss fight, and like how poker works. It's all like high cards. The base cards are worth like 10. Then everything else is worth its value. So a 7's worth 7. A 3's worth 3. So you want to play base cards, right? And so you had to have a ton of points, and you only got 5 hands to get these points. Well, the game decided to throw at me every face card you get to play is face down on your deck.
Oh,
You don't know what they are.
what
So
the fuck?
so you got to pick 5 cards to discard or play, and you only get so many discards before you can run out of discards, and you just got to play cards. Well, it's like, okay, you got to get like, I think it was a crazy number of points. It was like this like 4,000 points or 40,000 points. I think I had to get 40,000 points, and I couldn't see any of my base cards. So I had to like literally try to get it with like really small straights or low scoring cards. So like it ended up failing, and I was doing really well. Like I had multiplayers going for like 3 of a kind or straights, because you can like level up your multipliers for those like types of cards. So if you like are playing and you want to use a bunch of straights, you can get this like planet card, and it'll change how much points or straights are worth, in your multipliers. And so you can play, trying to get straights and stuff more often. And I was getting this thing where I had this joker that had like a multiplier and something that would hit every card twice or something. So the value of each card was twice. But once again, I got to that point, and it just was like, nope, you're gonna lose right here. That was like the furthest I've gotten. And I just
That's
don't
the
see like
AI.
no way like how you were gonna get through that one without being able to see what your face cards were and scoring that many points. Unless you get like that boss battle, like the very beginning rounds of the game, where you don't have to score very many points. But you had like 5 hands to get like 40,000 points, and it was really hard at that point. And that game just has all these jokers, and you can unlock them. And I have so many I haven't discovered yet that it could make my hands better and stuff. But that game's a lot of fun. It's a lot of thinking, but it's a good chill game. It's just kind of decompress and relax and stuff like that. So it's like,
Is it more, I don't want to say roguelike, but is it more of a game of chance, right? Is it going to change so differently each time you play it?
the only thing
as
it
far as like
changes when you play it.
what cards are dealt.
Yeah, your dealt cards will change, and then your boss battles. So you have a small blind like normal, then you have a big blind, and then you'll have like a third round, and that'll be like your boss. And then so you basically do a small blind. Say you gotta get 400 points in the very first one. It's actually 300. You get 300 points because you don't really have any multipliers for anything. So you get like 2 pair. You might only get like 80 or 90 to 100 points, right? And then if you maybe get a straight, you might get another 100 points. And you only get five hands to do it. And you get your 300 points. You're good. You get out. Then you do your big blind, and that's 400 points to beat the level. And you're using the same deck. But in between each round, you can go back to your shop and you can buy new cards. You can buy cards just to add to your deck. So instead of having your typical 52 cards, you can buy a pack, and you can pick one out of that pack. And you'll add like an extra jack of diamonds to your hand. So you have 2 jack of diamonds in your hand. So you kind of know like, okay, I know what I have in my hand, more diamonds or more jacks, like I could play off with more jacks. And then the faster you can beat each blind, you can get more money. So you can go out and buy more stuff in between rounds and make your hand. You can set your hand up to have more clubs in it. Or you can set it up to have more diamonds in it. You can have it to have more base cards or whatever. But what happens is you get against a boss. That third one, I've had ones where like it'll say at random, every heart card in your deck has no value. So basically, you can't play any hearts in your deck because you could do a full house, but the hearts that are in that full house have
Oh
no
yeah.
value. So you
Wow.
still get the points for the full house, but you don't get any points for that card. So and then the next time it could be like, okay, the diamonds or the spades don't count, or it'll say everything is half value, like your multiplier is cut in half is another boss thing it will give you. So it just gives these different win conditions that make it really hard. And like I said, the last time I did it, it was literally you can't see your face cards, and so you just had to try to play them at times, just hoping you would get something. Luckily, in a draw or something, but you wouldn't. Like it just made it so hard. But the game's fun. It's a not very expensive game. You can kind of just chill and play it. It's something I bought on the Switch as well to play it on the go. Except for it's really hard to read on the Switch. I don't know if it's the resolution on the Switch screen or not because it's so small and the writing's so small in the game. It's really, really hard to see on the Switch. But it'd be a good Steam Deck game if you can.
Yeah, it seems like it would be right versus versus the Switch.
I think it'd just be a good phone game in general. I'm kind of seeing this game coming to a phone eventually. Like it's just a bunch of casual clicking and picking which cards you're going to discard, which cards you're going to play. I think it'd be an easy game to put on the phone. If it's not already out on the phone. I haven't looked in a while.
I'll look and see if it's no, I don't think it's on the iPad or iOS.
But yeah, it's been a fun game. The other stuff I've been playing, okay, I got back into Gunny. I got back into GTA or not GTA, Gran Turismo 7. And that game,
Oh yeah.
that
I
game,
played a little Forza.
I wasn't liking it compared to Forza. Well, I ended up canceling my Game Pass, so I ended up like not having access to Forza. See, they told me the price is going up, and I got tired of paying for it and like not really using it a ton. Like I was playing the same games over and over. So like all the new games I pretty much wasn't playing. And I knew what I was playing on there. So I was just like, I'm just gonna start buying the games that I know I'm gonna be playing. And that way they're just in my library permanently and I'm just gonna, just play it that way. And so I don't have access to Forza right now, but I have been playing a lot of Gran Turismo 7. And I ended up they have these menu cards at this cafe. And I always thought it was kind of weird how they did it. Well, once I finally beat all the challenges, the game kind of opened up even more. So like it like rolls the credits. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of rolled the credits, and I haven't like collected that many cards. Well, then it opened up like this new bonus challenges, and there's like a ton of challenges in there, like cars to collect. And so like you have to be a certain level car collector. Like every time you collect so many cars, you get some experience points. And that makes your level go up. And so you got to have a certain level of like car collector points to be able to get these new challenges. But what the game also does after you beat it, and it enables you to do these weekly challenges, kind of like I know Forza had something like that as well. But so it'd be a timed time situation where you had to go and win like 5 different races. And they were all particular to a certain kind of car or certain thing like this or that. So I started trying to do those because when you complete them all, you'll get rewarded with like a rare car, and these cars are cars you can't just like buy in game. So these cars are like basically can be seen in the game, but you can't buy them with your money. I don't care like how much money you have. You have to get a special invite to buy these cards. So you have to win these like weekly challenges to even get these cars. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I started kind of playing those. Well, the one time I was pushing really hard and it was like 5 challenges. And when I got to the last one, I couldn't race it because I had to go back and do these special menu books and I had to be a certain level. And I was way off. So there's no way I was in the next couple of days.
It was the grind is what it was?
Yeah, so it became like this whole new grind to like
Oh, no.
go through and collect all these cars and do all these daily, like weekly challenges and stuff. So it ended up being kind of neat. So like it kind of got me back into it again. Like, and there are a lot more difficult races. Like this last one right now I'm doing is they're called like a K car. It's like KIE, I think. And it's like these real little Japanese cars with no power whatsoever. And you got to have a certain kind of tire on it, which is like a sport soft. And then you can't upgrade it past 400 performance points. And so basically your car's only like 90 horsepower upgraded. And it's a very small little car, like a Honda Beat, and there's a Suzuki. And
you got to beat a
but it's-
Maserati in less than 1 minute, right?
and then of course the one thing I don't like about Gran Turismo compared to like Forza is at Forza you can like qualify. You can start toward the front of the pack or the middle of the pack and stuff like that. Gran Turismo just automatically puts you in the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm starting this race.
It's always
I
been
have
that
this-
way. Always.
Yeah, this slow car, and you're in the back of the pack, and you got to try to catch up. You got 7 laps, and you just got to try to run. The first lap in, I've already got the best lap times. But you got to sit there and try to catch that front car before you run out of laps, because even though you're running better lap times than everybody, doesn't mean you're going to be first place because you still have
Don't
to try
use
to
the
catch
brakes,
up with that-
man.
Yeah, so it's a grind at times. Like I said, sometimes it's kind of frustrating. Like this one I said I'm doing now, the car just to me just does not feel fast enough no matter what I do. Like I bought like every like performance combination for that car, and I either A, get too many performance points where I can't use it, or B, I just can't get the car to go, and it just not quick enough. Like you can get up there to like you get on a straightaway and everything's passing you. You just can't help it. You're just like, what do I need to do to make this thing faster? So I kind of back out and I try some different races for a little while, but I've been enjoying it. And the game looks really good. It's kind of on par with Forza. Maybe not as good as Forza, but it looks really good. And it grew on me quite a bit, actually. I'm still not a fan of the music. Still got that very classical music in the menus and some of the races and stuff like that. But
that's something we never talked about with the newest Forza game. I never even noticed like what they probably just did the same thing too.
yeah, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't notice it either. It's not like it is in Gran Turismo for sure, because in Turismo I really noticed it. And Forza,
Yeah, it's
I don't
probably
remember.
the same.
Yeah, I don't know, but it must be done better because it doesn't bother me when I played Forza.
Like kind of like what they did in Forza 7. Yeah, they added that elevator music.
Yeah,
But that's to be expected, right? You're supposed to play your own music because they don't want to get hit with copyright. Well, I don't know if it's copyright, but some of that music expires after a while. So anything unlicensed is good.
Then the other big difference is like, I think Gran Turismo goes a little more in depth on the history and stuff of the cars. Like it'll make you collect, like say, let's say in the Camaro, in my case, right? You go to Chevy and you'll have to collect the Z01 Camaro. You have to collect a Camaro SS. You may have to collect like an old Camaro, like say like a 70s Camaro. And then when you collect all 3 of them, it gives you this whole history thing of just about the Camaro. It breaks it all down. It'll tell you about this and that. And then it's like, to this day, the Camaro is da 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 da, and it'll give you like a 5 or 10 minute breakdown of like the history of that car. So if you unlock, different like Miatas or something like that, it gives you a breakdown of the Miatas. And so it goes in depth on like every car quite a bit. And then when you go to like the new dealership, if you want to buy a car that's brand new, it will like you can see the showroom, but you can also see the it's like a museum for each brand, and it will show like all the cars through their timeline, like through Chevy's timeline, and talk about the important cars that come out throughout that timeline. And you're like, oh, okay, Corvette came out in this year, and the Camaro came out in '68, and then this was introduced, and then this model was introduced this year, and it was just pictures and all that kind of stuff. So it talks about a lot of them, a lot more history and a lot more stuff like that.
Yeah.
But And then the only other game I've been playing much of is I ended up going back and playing Dragon's Dogma 2 on the PS5. And,
Oh, Jesus was playing that too on the PS5, right?
Oh,
Jesus.
I was playing a lot of that recently, dude. I ended up going to Black Batal Mail, the other side of the map.
Yeah.
And I've done so much in that game recently, dude. I've done so much.
I got back into it.
Oh man, I'm like hella into it, dude. I fucking was playing so much of it the last few days.
I started over. So what I ended up doing, I ended up starting over because I couldn't remember what was going on, and I wasn't really liking the thief type character I had, like the rogue, the assassin, basically. And so I tried doing like an archer this time around, and I ended up really enjoying the archer play style. Like it's kind of like you kind of hang back and you have like this focus shot where it zooms in. You got the crosshairs, and you just got to release, the button. And then you'll hit them in like weak points, but then you have like different types of like arrows. So you can equip like explosive arrows. You can, just different arrows that do like different things. They're kind of cool. So it's like, that's kind of like how that game plays. So I ended up doing like an archer, and the game made so much more sense to me, like going through the second time around, like understanding what was going on early on, more so than what I did before. So like the game went through the progression a lot faster. I ended up catching where I was at before, and I passed where I was at before, so it's all new to me again. But just having a lot of fun with that. Like I've kind of grown past your character. I was using your character Joy for a while, and then just like one time she was just gone. Like I think she died. I think she fell in some like water or something, and I couldn't really figure out how to get her back. Like she just like fell off a bridge or something and got caught in a fight.
They do that, or they fall off cliffs, or
I'm just walking along, and like next thing I know, I'm like, one of the pawns was like, I think we need one more person in our party or something like that. And I'm like, we're not a very good group. I'm like, hey, where's Jesus's character at? And I ended up having to go back.
I had a lot of that, guys, in my playthrough.
What you should do is you can always go back to a Riftstone and look for pawns that you've used before, and she'll pop up.
I kind of looked at it, but I didn't see it right away. But the one Riftstone I went to was one that like those ones that aren't in town that you find like in the wild, and you can have like a random thing, like the one I found was like a random, and it didn't like spawn just a random pawn, but like my options were really limited. It was like only full of like male pawns or something like that, so I wasn't able to pull your character.
Yeah, you can filter like, male, female.
The Riftstone was only
different races.
Males. Yeah, it only will pull up a male. Like it was just like one hidden out in the forest, and you went up to it, and it was like these random ones will only you have a shot of pulling up like a special one, or it'll pull up a certain sex only, or a certain race only, or something like that, or a certain class only, and you can choose one from that. But
if you get my pawn again recently, she'll be leveled up to level 30 now.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm getting there. We've been chugging along. I did have this one guy give me his pawn, and the reward for traveling with me for a day was one of those shards that bring somebody back to life. Oh, yeah. It takes 3 of them to bring a person back.
Oh that's a good reward.
Yeah, the wasted. I was like, holy cow, yeah. But they were like a high level character, so they traveled with me for a while. It was like a sorcerer again.
Yeah,
but I was enjoying your character Joy though, because she was like freezing, and making my bow like froze, and it would do. It's either freeze or fire. I can't remember, or lightning.
Or lightning, yeah.
That's what it was. It was lightning. My bow would start like having lightning run through it, and then I was doing damage with that. But
I ended up switching my character when I started playing again, like a few days ago. I switched my character to a thief, and I'm like I'm 1 away from max level on the thief now. And I fucking love that class. It's so good. It's fucking beast mode.
I just had a hard time with the combat early on. I felt like I was out of control sometimes. Like when you do that running, slashing thing kind of thing, like it just kind of like.
I don't do that. I do something when I spin up in the air, like really high up in the air.
Yeah, it's like a spin. Down. Yeah.
That one's really powerful against like the big giant trolls and the griffins and the things that fly, because you can knock them out of the sky. And but dude, I've been doing some crazy cool quests. I ended up going to kill Medusa, and I took her head. I chopped her head off in the middle of the fight.
I want to do that.
and now I could use her head to like turn people into stone, like anything. I could turn like anyone into stone. That's fucking cool.
That's awesome.
But her head does like decay, so like you have to keep it in your chest. So like I had this quest where this guy wanted to like he wants to make a statue of a griffin, like a giant griffin, but he told me he's like you're gonna have to fight it, and while you're fighting it, I'm gonna draw it. So you need to fight it long enough and you can't kill it until I get enough drawing. Like I have to be able to draw all of it. Or he said I could do a better statue if you can freeze him, like if you could like petrify him. And I was like, petrify? What the fuck does that mean? And he's like, well, he's like Medusa, he's like, she can turn people into stone. If you could somehow get her head and turn them into stone, it would make my job much easier because then the griffin will just be stone and I could just draw the whole griffin and whatever and make a statue out of it. So I ended up going to like this long quest, dude, like this unknown, uncharted territory of the map that I kind of knew how to go in that direction. And I was in there like forever, dude. Me and my pawns were in there, and one of my pawns ended up dying. There was like a cat lady, like a thief, but she's like a big, tall thief, like a giant cat lady. And I'm with her, and she fell off a bridge and died. And then Joy was like half dead. My other character was like a soldier. She was half dead. So I ended up going too far. I'm like, fuck, I'm too far. I gotta go back. It's the middle of the night, dude. It's pitch black. I'm fighting all these crazy ass things that are popping up.
Oh yeah.
I finally get into Medusa's fucking little cave thing, and I fight her, and I chop her head off. I take her head. I go back to the town. I ended up dying going back to town. I ended up dying like twice because I ended up running into some camp that kept killing me. These fucking trolls kept killing me. So I ended up finally made it all the way back to Backpatal or whatever.
Yeah, I know where you went. They killed me too. I never made it there, by the way.
And then I put the head in storage and I went to bed. Then I woke up the next day and I'm like, all right, time to go to a Riftstone and revive my character that I had. So I did. I went back to a Riftstone. I revived I picked the pawn that I had before, that cat lady, and she's like, hey, you feel more powerful since I seen you last time. And I'm like, hey, what's up? But the crew's back together now. Woo! And then we ended up going to the fucking griffin fight. I froze the griffin in the stone. And then, yeah, man, it's a crazy game. There's so much to it, dude. But the crazy part is like having to walk everywhere. That's so hard, dude. Having to walk everywhere. I ended up there was a point in the game where I was all the way at the gate where like you cross the border, like the checkpoint gate, and I had to get to Backpatal. But to get there, I don't have any like fast travel points set there yet. So I'm like, fuck, I have to run this whole road all the way down the map to get to this town. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to run this map. So I saw a wagon coming by like a fucking, it wasn't an ox cart. It was just like it looked just like a royal wagon or something. It was weird looking. I just jumped in the wagon and the driver kept saying, all right, enough of this. You guys need to get out of my wagon now. Yeah. He just kept repeating the line, so I just stood in the wagon.
Right? He won't move, right?
No, he kept moving. He was like, all right, that's enough. You need to get out of my wagon. But he would only say that line, but he would just keep moving. So I just stood in the wagon, and I stood there for like 2 minutes in the wagon as he just drove down the road. I was like, I'm not walking this. I'd rather watch this guy drive me down the road for 20 minutes than walk this whole map. And we got to a point where the funny thing is the cart had like an escort too. It had like soldiers around it. So every time I ran into enemies, I just stood in the cart and waited for all my pawns and everyone to fight this shit off. And
that's what's funny too, because you get the XP for it. You know, you level up and you don't even do nothing. You're like,
and I'm just standing there. I'm just standing there waiting for the guy to move the wagon. Finally, the wagon got destroyed by like a griffin or some crazy shit, or like a big giant stone troll fucking destroyed it. And I ended up having to fucking run the rest of the way. But it was cool, man. Like, that game is so much fun. And it really, at night, you really feel like the intensity of, oh, fuck, like, these enemies are bigger now. They're more powerful.
Like, you will get those, a like I was already like a higher level, right? Wasn't I like level 20 or 25 or something? And it was night, and and this is like in an easy area, and a fucking wraith came out, and that thing fucked me up, me and my pawn. So I was like, no, it took
I
me
had
by
a few
surprise.
of
Like,
those.
oh, I got this.
The fucking griffin, for some reason, Mayo, when you get to that desert side of the map, that fucking griffin will fuck with you so much, dude. You'll just see like a
Oh,
giant.
I hate that
You'll,
griffin.
you'll be
It'll pick
running
you up
around,
and carry
dude.
you. It'll
Dude,
take you far away.
Like I was just running, and like you can see like the game is, it looks beautiful, right? And it has all these like cool looking shadows, and then you see like this giant shadow of a fucking
yeah.
griffin. And I was just like, oh fuck. Every time I see that shadow, I just stop in place and look around, like where's that motherfucker at? And it's gonna come down on me right now. And then sometimes he would just fly by and not do shit. But a lot of the times he comes down and starts fucking with me, dude, and he starts fighting with me, and I ended up killing like 2 or 3 of them motherfuckers. But there's still a lot left on the map, I think. Because they're still flying around. I still see them. I'm like, what the fuck?
There's a bunch on the map. Yeah.
I was like, I killed like 3 of these fucking things already. How many fucking griffins are on this fucking map?
Mhm.
And then I ran into the dragon
They
again.
respawn. They will respawn.
I fucking ran into the dragon. That son of a bitch fucked me up. One of the times, one of my pawns was like, "Hey, I knew of a treasure chest that I knew around here from my
I hate that.
from my old master knew about this treasure chest. Follow me." And I'm like, okay. He led me right, dude. He led me right to a sleeping dragon. It was like sleeping in the
Yes.
shadow. It was
I
like
know
in
that
the
location.
it was in the shadows. And I'm running, and I see like something's laying there. I'm like, what the fuck is laying there? Is that a troll? That thing gets up. It's a fucking dragon, dude. It started attacking the shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck? We didn't stand a chance. We died.
Led you right to your death. Yeah, that happened to me once. Like one of the
I lived
characters
through that
were
one.
like, hey, let's over here. I know there's a chest. And I go run around this corner, and there was like this camp, and I was not ready for it, and they just tore me up. Like 2 of my pawns died like right away, and I'm like trying to run, like
Yeah.
like get
Don't
me out of
listen to
here.
your pawns.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty far in the game.
That game
I
is
got
so.
this. I got these cool daggers, dude. These daggers that do like 400 something damage. They're pretty fucking sick, man. They're fucking cool.
I found this area was really cool. Like just like the game is so random, right? So like
Yeah.
was it Burnsworth, the main town,
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you start off at, yeah.
So there's like outside of town, there's a couple houses, and there's like that tall like fields that have like crops or whatever growing, and there's a couple like boarded. There's this house that the door was locked. Well, you can like go to the back side of the house, and you can see it's got like a bolt, like a wooden board across the door, like keeping it locked. So I was messing around with it. So I was using my archer, and I used an explosive arrow, and I shot the door from the inside, and it blew the door lock apart, and I was able to get in the house. Well, if you get in that house, it has like a cellar, and you go underground, and there's like a whole thieves lair underneath there, and it takes me to this whole like tunnel, and there's these rats running around. I found a ton of money, and I found a bunch of items down there.
Nice.
And I ended up coming out underneath one of the bridges that it's as you're leading out of town. So it's really cool. It's like just the random
I had to
little stuff
YouTube that
you
one.
come
Yep.
across. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, what's this? Once I got in, I found some gold right away. It's like 2 treasure chests in there. 'Cause I could see the one treasure chest, so I knew I could get in there. And it's a really small house, and it only has a front door, and you can't jump in the windows. So I'm like, you have to be able to get into this door, somehow. And I tried breaking it from the outside, and it wouldn't break. So you must have a class that has to be able to like shoot something or something like that. And so I just shot my explosive arrow in there because I was trying regular arrows, but I couldn't like see the door that well to like hit what I needed to hit. So I just shot it with those explosive ones, and it blew up that board, and I was able to get in. Now another thing I learned too is like, do you remember there's like a cave, and it's like full of goblins, and you have to go down there, and you're supposed to help some guys are in that. It's like a goblin cave or something like that. It's like 3 or 4 tiers. Well, there was a treasure chest in there, and it's up on a ledge, and I'm like, how do I get to this? Like, I tried. I ran around that cave for like, I probably would say an hour trying to figure out a path on how to get up there. And so I just kind of quit trying. I'm like, I really want to know what's in this chest, right? It was bugging me. So I ended up YouTubing it, and that's something I don't do very often. And the only way you can get in this chest is if you have a character that can fly, which my character doesn't fly. So I'm like, oh, I'm screwed, like how do I get up there if I can't fly? I didn't know if you have a character that's capable of flying in your crew, you can just say go that way, and that character will automatically run over there. And I think
she'll levitate.
He
or she will
levitated up
levitate
there, and then but then one time I did it, she levitated up there, and she got right beside the treasure chest, and then she starts talking to me. She just turned around and faced me, climbs back down. I'm like, "What are you doing? Get to the chest!" And so that I directed her that way again, and that time she went up over there, and it was one of the not wake stones, but the other ones, the other major stone, the
fairy stone.
Fairy stone, is the fast travel.
Ended up being one of those. So I was like, oh, that's
nice.
Cool.
Those are far and few between, right? There's only like 4 in the game or something.
And then the other thing I've been finding is really cool is those random coins, like the guild coins or whatever they are.
The secret coins.
Yes, and there's like so many of them. They're like, oh, just look everywhere. They're in some really random places. And the one I
found random ass ones too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if I can give you guys,
like, I'm gonna let my master know about this one. I'm like, oh, this is one that pawn hasn't seen.
So let me just say in the game, this is not, we've kind of already spoiled the Medusa thing. So when you meet Medusa, this is for everybody listening as well. When you meet her for that first time and she gives you those riddles, I talked about this on the show earlier when I played through this game. She is gonna ask you in one of those quests that where did you get your first secret token? There's 2 different ones, right? Secret token, and then there's something else. So I always know, like when I'm going to go back and do another playthrough, I have to remember where I picked up my first secret token. Because you're going to have to go back to that location.
When I went to Medusa, I just fought her. She didn't talk to me. She was just fighting me.
Oh, okay. She's at another location early on in the game.
No,
and
I went to her cave.
I haven't had that either.
Yeah, she will give you I think there's like 5 riddles, Jesus, and 5 different chests. And
I just went to her cave and fought her.
Isn't there like a Sphinx or something like that as well that you can do?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. The Sphinx versus Medusa. Okay,
that could be.
I could be thinking of a different character in the game.
I've seen that pop up on YouTube when I was searching for that chest thing.
Yeah, it might be the Sphinx.
Medusa's like a half snake creature, dude. She's like a half snake. She's pretty big. She's like a half snake and like.
Yeah, I didn't fight her. I knew where she was. I didn't fight her. I never made it there.
With the very beginning of the game when you first create your pawn, isn't that her? Because she runs off.
I don't know.
When you got to carry the stone, and then it's like teaching you about the very beginning of the game, and it's a Medusa type character, and then she.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're in the camp. You're the slave in the camp, right?
She runs off, yeah.
Yeah, that is her. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, I fought her. Yeah, and I killed her. Well, I chopped her head off. I don't know if she comes back to life. But I know I chopped her fucking head off, and I have it in a chest.
So there's an option. I forgot what it was, Jesus. I don't know if it's to chop her head off or not, or if it's a different choice that you can make.
No, you want to chop her head off, but you want to chop her head off as quickly as possible in the fight. Because I chopped her head off like after the first little bubble went down 1. She has 4 of them or 5 of them, and they went down 1. And I got like a Medusa's head, but it was like less than the top tier. Because the top tier is like a super fresh head, and the one below that is the one that I got, and then there's another one that's below that, like it's like a more rotten or whatever, and then there's one that's useless that you can't even use at all, like it won't even work on enemies. So you want one that's like really good, or second, maybe third, but you want to go in there and you want to chop her fucking head off and take that shit off and fuck her up.
So is that like time based too? Like the longer it's in your inventory, it goes bad?
Yes. So that's why like for the Griffin mission, I knew that I was gonna have to go all the way to like across the desert to find this fucking Griffin nest. So I ended up, like I said, running back to back Batal to one of the hotels, and I threw it in a chest for the night, and I went to bed. In the morning, I went to go get my new pawn. Then I came back to the thing and got the chest. Got the head, then we took off and went to the Griffin area.
Jesus, is it me, or is that area in Bakhbatal? When you're at the hotel in that whole area? It reminds me some setting in Star Wars.
It does.
Yeah,
It
it's
does.
cool. It's a good thing. It's cool looking.
Just because it's deserty. One thing that I did find, Mayo, and Back Batal that you may not know from the beginning of like you go in there, is it takes a long time to get from the border checkpoint to Back Batal City. Like it's a long walk, dude. And
Put a fairy stone there.
No, it will go from day to night. But there is these elevator things that you can find. They're on top of the mountain. You could kind of see them if you're walking through the main road. You can see these wires, and they're like these elevator type things that you can jump on, and you press circle, and your character starts rolling or like rotating the wheel.
Or you could have your pawn do it for you.
And it fucking goes across the top of the sky to the other checkpoint, and it kind of gets you all the way across that desert area.
Oh, nice.
It gets you kind of far, like without having to walk the whole road. Like it's like an elevator system. It is quite like it takes like a minute to use the whole thing. It's kind of like
it's just like the things you see at amusement parks. So I don't know what they're called.
It's like a tram system or something.
Like a skylift.
Skylift. There you go.
Yeah. But
we have one. We have those here in Columbus actually, but our fairgrounds. It takes you from one side of the fairgrounds to the other. Yeah,
that's what this is. But it's a little bit different. You'll see when you get down there. It's not like you'll have to jump off one and then get on another one. I think you have to do it 3 times.
Oh no, I did it twice.
So it'll probably be good for you because you're an archer, and because what'll happen is like let's say you choose a pawn and say, "Hey, work that shit," right? And then you're always going to be getting chased by. Or you like the fucking birds keep coming at you.
Yeah, the birds. Those fucking birds kept coming at me and my crew. And like I said, I only have Joy. I have the thief chick, and I have a warrior guy with me, a warrior chick with me.
On ground, yeah.
So none of them are air attacking people. Like none of them can take these fucking birds out. And these fucking birds are just coming in and fucking swooping in and hitting us, and they kept hitting me. And I think. At some point, I tried to do like one of the jumpy air attack, like the spinny thing in the air. Problem was that I fell off of the fucking lift.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I jumped off of that shit, and my character totally fucking died when I landed on the ground. It's like splat, dude, because you're really high up in the air, right? So like, you fucking jump off that thing, you're dead. You're fucking dead.
That happened to me one time I was exploring, right? You know, like how you get in town, like the capital city there. I got up on the rooftops and I'm like running around like, oh, I'm gonna find something. But you know, if you get on the edge, you like slide down the rooftop. I slid down and I fell outside of the castle and I fell like basically off the castle wall and I fell and it was so high of a drop it killed my character and I had to reload. I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah,
I just had to go rest. But
yeah, there's some really cool characters in that game and some really cool missions that I've done that I think you'll like.
Yeah, that game's a lot of fun. I've been really getting into it, and I just kind of been going through some games that I bought that I've never actually completed, and that was one of them. So I just kind of jumped back into it.
Gunny, I have one of those fairy stone things that you could put down. Like it says, this is a fairy stone portal or whatever. Like put this down in the location where you want to fast travel to in the future. How come I can't put it down in Back Batal? I've tried to put it down in front of the city. And they won't let me.
Okay.
It doesn't let me.
I put it there like, yeah, you should be able to do it.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Go to YouTube. That's what I did. And then they just said, oh, like, I just put it like, you know, like to the entrance or whatever. Okay. So
I'm trying.
So go to the other entrance, go to the other side. That's where I put it. Not on the side. Yeah, try the other side, and then put it down in the middle of the road.
Lame. But
that's where I put it, right in the smack dab middle of the road. But not in. I didn't do it inside. I did it on the outside of it, like outside of the tents or whatever.
Yeah,
but on the road itself.
My character is out of gold, man. I had like at one point I had like 100,000 gold. Now I have none because I spend it on like upgrading my shit. I ended up fucking.
It takes a lot, right?
When I switch classes, now I have to buy all new weapons, all new armor. I ended up going. I thought I had good fit, and then I get to Back Batal, and I'm like, Fuck the shit that I have is trash. My shit's like attack 150. I go to Bak Batal, their fucking shit is like attack 400.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm getting that 400 attack sword. Fuck yeah, I'm getting that 400 defense armor. I'm taking that shit. So that's what I ended up doing. I started buying their armor, but that armor is expensive, man. I ended up paying for like, I think the swords ended up costing me like 40 grand. Then the armor that I had, the chest piece, that was like 38,000. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of gold, man. That's so much gold.
I went through the whole quest with the secret armor or whatever he's called. It's not like a secret armor, but basically you have to know, like I just discovered it like on YouTube or whatever, but he's there in Bak Batal, and then at first he just ignores you, and then that's what got me to YouTube, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's like, oh, it's a whole quest with this lady who lives with him, or she's like the apprentice to the blacksmith is what it is. But I guess I think I finished the entire quest, but then I ended up finishing the game. But it's got some pretty strong weapons in there that you can purchase or make. With there's like a cave nearby there or close by where you can actually collect a lot of those resources. So it's kind of a grind where you can just kind of go back and collect a lot of the metals and stuff. And I thought, it's too much for me. I don't want to grind that much.
I found out that the apples are worth a lot more money in Bak Batal, because in Bak Batal,
that's true.
I saw something on that. Like, that's a very expensive because it's like dry area, right? And fruit.
They don't have them in Bak Batal. Yeah, they don't have apples.
That's where that fairy stone comes in handy, right? Where you can use that. Like any apples, just fast travel back there and sell them to that vendor.
Problem with the fairy stone is the fairy stones cost 10 grand at a vendor. Like, I have like 4 or 5 of them, but I don't want to use them because like I said, they cost 10 grand to buy. Yeah, they're expensive as fuck to buy. So,
but like I said, there is a cave. You can YouTube it that's nearby. I only did it a few times, and then I thought, okay, this is kind of lame. But I guess the payout was pretty good. It just, yeah, I
don't know. But I like the game, dude. Dragon Dogma 2, it's a really fucking good game. It's so much fun. It's just fun. That's what it is. It's just fun. Yeah, it's hard at times. Yeah, there's enemies that you have to kind of figure out how to fight. The nighttime is kind of scary, especially when we were Bak Batal.
I got in this one area, and these ghost things appeared, and then I was fighting like a werewolf at the same time, and it just ended up being kind of like overwhelming at times.
Too much,
I died that one time, like. I almost died one. I don't remember now, but
there's going to be times, Mayo, when you're going to come to a place and you're going to be like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, we all got our torches and what have you. But then no, there's some places where it's not every place. I think there's only one I found where, what the fuck, man? Like the torch is not working for some reason, and you'll have an enemy coming at you. It's very cinematic, in my opinion, and it's just true, real gameplay happening. But it's not like a cutscene or anything. But it's pretty badass, like when you're trying to fight this enemy with no torch, But there's still enough light to where you can see it. It's pretty awesome.
I try my hardest to be like, when I notice it getting dark, try to be like in a town or being close to a camp or something like that. Like, I really push to try to get to a camp and be like, okay, I'm just going to rest until morning now because I know it's already getting dusk, So I'm just
so for example, when you're running from the checkpoint to Bak Batal, like that whole span in that desert, it's a long run, dude. And if you've never been through it, you could get lost and kind of like if you take a wrong turn somewhere, you kind of get like sidetracked and shit. And then next thing you know, Mayo, turning into nighttime, and you don't know where Bak Batal is. Like, all you have is the marker for the quest that says get to Bak Batal. And that's like all the way in the bottom of the map. And you're like, how the fuck am I going to get there, dude? So you're trying to follow this main road to get there. And you're hoping you get there in time, and you won't. It'll take you longer than like a day. If the first time you do it, because you just get sidetracked and you're fighting all these enemies, all these bandits and goblins on the way, and fucking lizards and stone trolls and fucking griffins and fucking bird features.
Those lizards, man, they'll ruin your day for sure.
Fucking sucks.
I don't like those
the
salamander looking ones.
armored
Yeah.
lizards, or
The red ones.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
green ones. There's green ones on the other side of the map. They're like purple. No, they're purple.
they're
That's
like
what they
armored
are.
crocodiles, man. They'll fucking
They're
ruin your
annoying.
day.
It's
You know,
annoying.
because they're just so like, I will say bullet sponge, but you're just like wailing on those things. Like, come on, man, die
Yeah.
already.
But yeah, I like that. I like that game, man. It's quite fun, dude. Quite fun.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Like I said,
Yeah.
it kind of started that game back over and been grinding through it.
All right,
Yeah, I'm
guys. Well,
surprised I picked up where I left off on it because I was able to. I don't know how.
it's late for me, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good rest of the show. Everybody go find me, gamertag Gunny Chief. One word. It's on the Steam. It's on the Xbox.
All right, Gunny.
Peace out, guys.
Later, dude.
I'll see.
All right, Mayo. Well, I guess we get into the news. I don't know what do you have
Yeah.
for news.
Yeah, we added some new articles in there today.
All right.
Not a whole lot going on,
News
but
time. Okay. All right. After months of horsing around, Valve finally made Deadlock official last week. You still can't play without an invitation, but at least now you can look at it on Steam. But that's raised complaints from some quarters because it appears that Valve is rather blatantly breaking their own rules on what you can and cannot do with the Steam store page. Yeah, some people were tweeting at Valve saying that they're violating the rules of whatever. So I guess in Steam or whatever, the rule for a store page, Mayo, is you must have 5 screenshots of your game in the description or in the store. They have 1. So by that logic, Steam is violating their own Steam store page rules. But I guess it doesn't matter because it's fucking
It's
Steam.
them.
They own it.
Right.
Yeah, who's gonna punish them? Themselves?
Right, they're gonna find themselves, take their own game down. Yeah,
I know, right?
the game is early, and you can't buy or play right now. Like unless you know somebody that has it.
Gamescom happened this year. It happened, Mayo, in Europe, Germany. During Gamescom, there was a few announcements made. Borderlands 4 has been announced as an official teaser trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming 2025, supposedly. Call of Duty 6 was shown, blah, blah, blah. Goat Simulator Remastered is coming. That's right. In December of this year, I think that's the release date for that. Persona 3 Reload DLC is coming. Dying Light The Beast. So this is going to be a brand new game set in the Dying Light universe.
That could be fun.
Right. They confirmed that you'll have around 20 hours of stuff to do. And this is going to be a new region in the Dying Light universe. So there's that. What else? So Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is coming October 11th. King of Meat. Okay. That's another game, supposedly. No release date yet, but it was announced. What else here? No, these look interesting. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is coming. That looked kind of cool, actually, that trailer for that. Path of Exile 2. Early access November 15th of 2024. Dune. It's getting an MMO, Mayo. That's right. Dune Awakening. It's going to be an MMO set in the Dune universe. Okay. You're going to have character creation, sandworms, and the deserts of Arrakis.
This kind of reminds me of like a Star Wars kind of like MMO, like the one they had.
What else? Monster Hunter Wilds was shown, which we already knew about that. Civ 7 had a gameplay reveal. I kind of watched a little bit of that. Starfield Shattered Space Expansion. It's coming September 30th. Just a month from now, pretty much. Okay, what else? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was kind of shown off a little bit.
I remember you really liked the first game.
Yeah. They had a full gameplay reveal at Gamescom. This game's coming out February 11th of 2025. I'm actually excited to see what they do with this one.
They did a lot with the first one. I remember
the first one they did a lot, but this one, like, it seems like they've taken it and they've enhanced the graphics quite a bit. But like, they've made it even more immersive. It seems like even because the first one was pretty good. Like, they had a lot of like you can go in places and steal shit and do stuff.
Well, you couldn't read, right? You had to learn to read and all that stuff.
Yeah, this one seems to be taken to the next level. Like it's just the next, like, more immersive. It almost seems like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something like that. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it.
They've had a long time to work on it, and like nothing's been said a whole lot, really, or nothing that. So
and they kind of just came out of nowhere and said, "Hey, it's coming out pretty soon." You know, like really, like now with like it's not years and years of announcements. It's kind of just like, "Hey, it's coming out soon."
So I feel like they haven't had that like that release pressure. You know, like people know it is on their radar, and they're like, "Why isn't this game coming out? Or why is it getting delayed?" This game has just been under the radar.
Yeah,
because they're a small group, and just a lot of people didn't know it was in the process, you know, and so that's probably good for them. You know, like they've had time to really cook and work on this game and get all the bugs worked out and get it how they want it. I'm sure.
Yep.
Not like some of these half released games, you know, like, oh, we'll just patch it after it releases and it's buggy as shit and everything else.
February 11th. So there's that. That's the release date. The trailer looks pretty cool for that game, so I'm excited for that. Batman Arkham Shadow, exclusive to the MetaQuest 3. It's going to be a VR game for the MetaQuest 3.
VR is dead.
I think so too at this point.
I feel like it is. I thought it was really cool at the time, but yeah, I think it's just dead.
Diablo 4 Vessels of Hatred coming October 8th. This is a DLC expansion thingy-majigger. What else? Dark and Darker is coming out with the mobile version. That's right, Mayo. Dark and Darker mobile. Okay, what else? Oh, it's also been announced that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Mayo, is also coming to PS5.
Yes.
Yes. So it's also coming for the PS5. So the release date for console and PC is still December 9th of this year. But PlayStation 5 is getting it spring 2025.
Yeah, a little later. I mean, that's
not that much later. I mean, 3 months.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that just makes sense. Cool. I know Xbox people are probably unhappy about it, but like, look at Microsoft over there, just knowing like
you cannot not put it on the most selling console.
Let's put it on there and make money in two different consoles.
On a console that's outselling you 3-1 or 4-1 or whatever the fuck it's at now. You know, how can you ignore that? You just can't ignore it anymore. All right. What is this? Black Myth Wukong. The title from a Chinese developer, Game Science, has already sold more than 10 million copies across the globe as of August 23rd, which is only 3 days after the release, Mayo.
Yeah.
The new single-player RPG has also shattered records across Steam as it became the most played single-player game in the platform's history with more than 2.4 million concurrent players and still remains the number one top-selling game. So, with all this popularity around Black Myth Wukong, where is the Xbox release? A recent Forbes article dove into this question and states that Black Myth Wukong is suffering from the same fate as Baldur's Gate 3, which was development issues related to Microsoft's low-end console, the Xbox Series S. So there's that.
Yeah, that's twice now. Like they've had to miss the boat early on, because of their Xbox Series S holding them back. I mean, I wonder if they're starting to regret that at all. Like,
I think they are, because first of all, it kind of split your audience. Now developers hate making games for you, but it also like confused your audience to the point where they just bought PlayStation 5s instead. I think they made it too complicated, man. The average consumer does not give a fuck of what the fuck an S or an X means. They don't know. They don't care. And people probably hate the S. I would if if I didn't know that thing was digital only and I went and bought one and I thought, oh yeah, I'm getting an Xbox One, for whoever, my kid or my nephew or something. And then I buy them a game on a disc for it with it, like Minecraft or whatever the fuck, right? And I give it to them for their birthday or for Christmas, and they're like, Uncle, this fucking thing doesn't have a disc. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the damn disc? It has a disc thing right there. The top, look at the top. The disc goes right there in the big circle thing on the top. And then I know, no, Uncle Boomer, this thing is not, it's not a disc thing, it's discless. Like that probably confused a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, then too, it's like you get that now the Series X guys are having to wait on some of these new releases when they're like big and popular because of the system that's not as popular is holding them back. Like they had to wait for a while to get Baldur's Gate, which in its height, everybody was talking about Baldur's Gate. Oh, it's winning these awards, and Xbox didn't have it. They had to wait a while. And now you got this new game here coming out, like this Black Myth Wukong, and everybody's like, "Oh, everybody's playing it and all the rage," except for the Xbox people, And eventually it'll be out, but some people are probably going to be moving on from the game already because it is a single player game, And I guess it doesn't matter when you play it, but a lot of people like to experience it around the same time as everybody else, So. Like we'll be talking about it on here, or people, none of us are really playing it, but you're hearing about it on other podcasts and stuff. It makes you want to play it, and it's gotta be frustrating knowing you can't play it because your system is being held back by the system you didn't even buy. If you knew what you was getting into, even.
Yeah. In other news. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking Xbox. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing, I think, sometimes. In other news, PlayStation, they also don't know what the fuck they're doing sometimes.
Yes, PSVR.
Because their next State of Play is supposedly going to be scheduled for September sometime. The last one they had was in May. The last one before that was in September. They didn't have one early the year before that. They just kind of have them all over the place. And these State of Plays are weird because sometimes they use them to announce like big things, like big games, and then sometimes they use them to announce nothing. And then sometimes they use them for like hardware. Like, I don't know, man. It's weird. These State of Plays are weird. But they have, supposedly, it's been rumored that a State of Play is going to be in September, and it's going to unveil the PS5 Pro.
Nice.
Bom, 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 Mayo, PS5 Pro, Mayo.
Speaking of PlayStation news, I ran across an article the other day. I didn't read it or nothing like that, but it was talking about the Ghost of Tsushima series. It's like a live action movie, whatever, TV series. And it was either announced or like wrapping up. It's like they were working on it. The article was talking about it. Like I said, I just kind of just seen it and I just kind of glanced past it. But
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't
it's
see
one of
nothing about
the
that.
it's one of the streaming services making it. Can't remember if it was Amazon or who it was, but I was trying to look it up here real quick. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's at now without digging for a bit. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. What else?
I'll keep looking away, pulling up news.
What else do I have? Want some more news here? Oh shit! Hold up. Uh oh. Sad news here. Okay. Currently this week, the passing of Atsuko Tanaka, the voice actor behind many major video game and anime roles. Apparently, they passed away. This was revealed by her son, Hikaru Tanaka, on social media, saying she died on August 20th, 2024, at 61 years of age. Some of her most notable roles included the voice of Bayonetta and Chun-Li from Street Fighter, Lara Croft, and Motoko the Major Kusanagi, the protagonist of the famous anime series Ghost in the Shell. In addition to this, she played characters from games and anime like Nier Replicant and Devil May Cry. She played as Trish in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. So yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah, just mainly from Bayonetta was what I would have known her
Yeah.
from.
Platinum Games says they're incredibly saddened to hear the passing of Atsuko Tanaka, who provided the Japanese voice of the titular character in Bayonetta series. We are extremely grateful for her breathing life into this character of Bayonetta and offer our deepest condolences to her loved ones at this difficult time. So yeah, she passed away. But I mean, 61 years old, pretty good life. Pretty good life. Sucks to die, man, but it happens to everyone.
Eventually, right?
Eventually, right? It does happen to everyone. Man, yeah. I mean, even like the rich people die. So like, immortality is not here yet, Mayo. Oh, these rich assholes would be live forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not here yet. It's not here yet. So more news, Mayo. You want some news? I got news for you, Mayo. I got
Yeah,
news.
I need some more. I need some more news.
You need more news? All right, I got news. Hold on. Whoa. Star Wars Outlaws has a Metacritic score, Mayo. What do you think the Metacritic is for Star Wars Outlaw right now?
85.
The overall Metacritic right now. Let me see. You might be close. Hold on. Let's refresh this to get an up-to-date score. All right, we have a 77. Whoa. Most people are giving it a lot of 95s, a lot of 90s here, a lot of 85s. Let's see the lowest score. Tech Radar gave it an 85. Washington Post gave it a 75. Oh, IGN gave it a 70, turning yellow.
Uh-oh.
The lowest one is by Eurogamer. They gave it a 40.
Oh.
That's bad. That's bad. Eurogamer says the quick thing that I have here on the list that says massive. Or says massive. The developer bravely peels away the many layers of Ubisoft open world isms in Star Wars Outlaws. It's a fatal error. See here. Another one says from Hardcore Gamer. Okay, Hardcore Gamer gave it a 50. And they said, see here. The idea of a Star Wars game focusing entirely on the world of Outlaws in its seedier parts of the universe is a great one, but it deserved a different kind of game than Star Wars Outlaws. Instead of being suited for something more like Shadows of Doubt, Disco Elysium, or even L.A. Noire, even a straight linear action game would be better. Instead, we got a boring, open-world monstrosity with uninspired gameplay, way too many useless features, and a constant deluge of uninteresting side content. K and company deserve way better, and so do the players. Save your credits and wait for something like a solo Kessel Sabak game instead.
Or rent it for 1 month.
Or do like me and sign up for Ubisoft
Right.
Plus and play it for a month.
Now, do you get access to that here like tomorrow or whatever it was? Because it comes out on the 30th, right? But if you get the gold edition, you get it like 3 days early.
I get it tonight, I think. I can play it right
maybe
now.
you get it. Yeah, I say you probably get it tonight then.
I think I already have access at 9 p.m. Yeah. I'm definitely going to try to play it after the show.
There you go.
But, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of these reviews are kind of all over the place. This year, like, the best score is a 95 by Gamer Heroes. And they said massive entertainment created breathtaking environments across the galaxy, delivered a fast-paced combat system true to the Scoundrel style, and crafted a story that rivals the modern movies. Star Wars Outlaws is, simply put, the Star Wars game of a generation. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big thing there, Mayo. Star Wars game of a generation. I don't know. You know what I want? I want Ubisoft to make another Mass Effect, like a good one. Like, give me another Mass Effect.
Wasn't that EA that made that?
Oh yeah. EA needs to make another Mass Effect. What did Ubisoft make that's good? Assassin's Creed.
Gosh, Splinter Cell.
Oh, there we go. Give me a Splinter Cell. They're never doing that, dude. They're gonna give us some fucking woke ass bullshit where the fucking Splinter Cell guy is a transgender woman man that identifies as a squirrel. And they're doing it for environmental protection. They don't kill people either. It's gonna let you put everyone to sleep. Like, you're gonna have like no weapon kills anyone. It's just gonna be all like sleeper darts and like choking people out.
Trying to think of a squirrel name for Sam Fisher. We're gonna change his name.
Squirrel name. Yeah, it's gonna have to be like, I don't know, man. I don't know. All I'm saying is Sam Fisher is no longer them. Like, it's gonna be some other fucking weird ass person. It's not even gonna be a person. It's gonna be a furry. It's gonna be a cat. Someone dressed like a cat. They identify as a cat. They're doing it for the environment. And they don't kill no one. They just put people to sleep. They just choke people out, knock them out. Gonna have knockout gas. They're like Batman, right? They just beat people up really bad, and then they'll never kill them. They just beat them up really bad.
Right.
That's all that happened. They never kill someone. They just beat them up really bad. You know, Batman's problems would always be solved if he just killed everyone.
Right, if you just killed the main villains and
Yeah, if he just killed the Joker and like the Penguin and all them fuckers, like the Riddler, was a Poison Ivy chick. I mean, you just killed them. He never had to deal with them again.
but then
They'd be
Batman
dead.
he'd have an identity crisis because when they're eventually all dead, he'd be like, now what?
Well, now you can just go beat up civilians in the street.
All right. See, they need each other, Jesus.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh man. Oh shit, you're onto something. You're onto something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do the Avengers kill people? The Avengers kill people, right? They kill the enemy. They usually kill them or send them off to where they fucking like the galaxy they're from or something. They do kill people. Avengers
Okay,
kill people.
I'm trying to think. This is weird. Like also, like I'm trying to backtrack and think of who did they actually fight besides Thanos?
They fight Thanos. They fought each other. They fought. They fought like Iron Man fought the other bad Iron Man guy. What's the other
Yeah,
bad
and then
Iron
there was
Man guy?
Ultron, but like he was a robot.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Did they kill Thanos? I don't remember that movie. Did they fucking kill Thanos at the end? Is he dead, or is he
I
just
don't
sent
know.
back to like? Is he sent
I
back to
remember
his
they
universe?
didn't they like pull the glove off him, and then I don't remember what happened after that. It's been so long since I've seen those movies.
Does Spider-Man ever kill anyone in his movies? Like, does he ever kill the Sandman or the Green Goblin died?
But that wasn't Spider-Man's fault.
Oh, that's true, right? Didn't he like kill himself or his son killed him or something?
If you go by the one movie, like Tobey Maguire, or Spider-Man, Peter Parker was trying to help Green Goblin, and then it was the one that had that one actor. It was like the old Tobey Maguire,
Yeah, I remember those.
Spider-Man or whatever. But it was like he made his hover jet come up behind him, and
Oh yeah, and he was gonna
he was
stab
talking
him,
to
but
him,
he's
and he
Toby
jumped out of
jumps
the
at the
way,
last. Yeah,
and it stabs him.
last minute it stabbed him instead. At least they die. At least the bad guys in the Marvel universe die somehow. I mean, Batman, he just solve all his problems, dude. Just like be a rich asshole in Gotham City. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. I mean, if the fuck is the point of being like this badass super with all this crazy cool shit with some dude that dresses as the fucking Joker, calls himself the Joker, is able to wreak mayhem on your ass, and he doesn't. He's not a billionaire. He's like some broke ass fake clown. Okay, some crazy, literally psychopathic, broke, crazy guy that dresses like a clown runs around and creates mayhem for you, and you're this fucking billionaire with this crazy fucking lair, this fucking tank that you drive around, a fucking airplane you drive around.
And you can't stop him.
Crazy, and you can't stop this dude that's like a psychopath that dresses like a fucking clown. Oh fuck! Oh man! I'm just saying, Mayo. It doesn't make sense, does it? Make it make sense, Mayo. Because they don't make sense to me, dude. All right, you got this crazy.
He can't stop them all because, like I said, then he's gonna become the bad guy because he's gonna have so much money. He's gonna be bored. He's gonna be like, I have all this power, and he becomes evil Batman. I don't know.
I need the crazy guy in the clown suit and the clown paint to fucking make me to justify me. To justify me running around town kicking everybody's ass. I mean, seriously, the fucking guy dresses like a weirdo. He's a psychopath, literally, and he's fucking crazy. He hears voices in his head, and he paints himself like a clown. And he runs around town doing crazy shit. And he's the guy causing problems for the tech billionaire that has like a fucking layer of a mountain under his mansion, a fucking huge cave with like the craziest tech in the world, Mayo. Okay,
It'd be like us picking a fight with like Elon Musk and giving him a hard time all the time.
Giving him a hard ass time the whole time. We're just fucking with him all the time. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Poor guy, he's just struggling. Yeah, seriously, it would be like us picking on Jeff Bezos. No, really, Elon Musk is the great example. He fucking built all these rocket spaceship companies and shit. It's fucking giving him a hard time, Mayo. Me and you giving Elon a hard time. That's what it would be like.
Keep putting us in jail so we can break back out.
Yeah, seriously. Then he puts him in jail, and somehow the psychopath dressed like a fucking clown is able to break out again. I don't get it. Don't fucking. What kind of jail are they running in Gotham City, Mayo? Maybe Batman should give the city all his money so they can improve their fucking justice system and their jails.
Their security, beef it up a little bit.
Beef up the fucking security in jails because these fucking guys keep breaking out of these fucking jail cells too easily. Like, seriously, man. What do you think after they put the Joker in jail like 5 times? The jail would be like, all right, guys, we gotta make sure he doesn't escape this time.
Right. One more time.
This fucking guy's escaped 5 times from our fucking jail. God damn, one more time, this fucking guy. Like, I mean, seriously, I don't get it, man. That shit doesn't make sense. Comic book logic just doesn't make sense sometimes. It doesn't make sense, man. I'm just saying, if I was Batman, I'd kill everyone, and then I'd be. Isn't Batman the bad guy in one of the movies though? Isn't like one of the Dark Knight or something where like the cops are after Batman too?
I don't remember.
Isn't that the Dark Knight where he says like he said that line actually in the movie where he says you live long enough to you see yourself become the villain or something? But that's because the city needed someone to blame, so they blame him. And he took it. He's like, I want you to blame me. He told the fucking, was the commissioner guy, the fucking
Gordon?
cop guy, he told Gordon.
Right.
He told Gordon, he's like, I want you to blame me for this. Like, I don't. Oh, because he takes the blame for, what's that fucker? The guy that becomes Two-Face.
Harvey Dent?
Yeah, he takes the blame for Harvey Dent dying because remember they don't ever say that Harvey Dent survived because they don't want to say that he survived because they don't want us to be like, oh, the greatest prosecutor in the city became a fucking bad guy. So they just say he died, and then Batman says, "I want you to blame me for his death. Like I'll take the blame for it or whatever."
We need Bill in here. I think he's into this stuff. He needs to come in and
Bill,
clarify.
I need to clarify for me if. Okay, like Batman's the bad guy at some point. I think he's the bad guy in that movie. Because the cops are after him. Like all the cops are after him, and he's fighting the cops and shit too. Listen, man, I don't even know where this podcast has gone anymore. Okay, we're talking about this is where we've gone too long, and we start rambling about crazy shit like fucking Batman killing all his enemies off and. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
It's like this next news article in the notes. Have you pulled this one up yet, Jesus?
Which one?
Speaking of not sure what's going on anymore.
I haven't pulled it. Well, go ahead.
A prominent accessibility advocate worked with studios and inspired change, but she never actually existed, Jesus.
What?
So the article is saying on March 4th, 2019, an accessibility community mourned a prominent advocate, Susan Banks partner with Courtney Craven, announced her passing on social media platforms such as Twitter or X, and it said the industry lamented the loss of an individual that helped raise awareness for accessibility in video games, Jesus.
Oh.
Particularly for the deaf and the hard of hearing individuals. Here's a little thing from, I think this is from Twitter or X, and it says, "It is with the deepest of sadness that we say goodbye to one of our own, our friend and ally in the fight for game accessibility." At Susan can't play it.
Yeah,
it says Susan was a force in our industry and will be sorely missed. Her life mission will continue on, though. I guess Banks' death marked a significant loss in the video game accessibility community. She regularly interacted with developers from studios like Ubisoft and the Coalition, pushing for better options and designs. She helped to revolutionize games journalism through the creation of I Can Play That, a site dedicated to the coverage of accessibility and disability or perspective of the disabled. An award was even named after her proximity to given individuals in game to uplift their communities and educate others on the importance of accessibility. But come to find out, this person was AI, I guess. Trying to find out where it talks about it here, a little bit further down, I think. Trying to see here. Still scrolling down, but according to the headlines here, she was an AI. In 2019, Craven announced that Banks had died, shocking the accessibility community. In a private conversation between myself and Craven before I began reporting on this story, Craven claimed that Banks died while playing games from a stroke. In another private text conversation with a different individual viewed by IGN, Craven claimed that she died while streaming and that at least one other person had a clip of her death. But IGN could not find the evidence of any streams or video footage containing Banks. One day after her death, Craven acknowledged her passing by mentioning the dozens of notifications Banks' account was receiving, and it said no obituary was uncovered for a person fitting the description of Susan Banks in Oak Park, Illinois. Jesus. This is a long article. Oh, goodness.
What I want to know is this like, so they're claiming that this person, this Banks person, Susan, was it Susan Banks? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying, okay, like some people are claiming that she might not even be real because the fact of the matter is, like, there's no real like video, like footage of her. Like yeah, there's a photo on the profile, but people are saying like we're looking at like the way she interacted with people on Twitter. The people that say they worked with her, which was this Craven guy. Okay, and there was a GoFundMe set up on the day she died to launch a website called Can I Play That, which was a website dedicated to reviewing video games and analyzing the industry from the accessibility lens. Okay. So there's that. Able Gamers, which was like an organization that helps disabled gamers or whatever, or gamers with like a disability or a handicap or whatever.
Right.
They even shared the GoFundMe link on their Twitter and on their website, and pretty much Craven has used the sympathy generated by Banks' death to push himself into the spotlight. For years, he continuously posted on social media about her passing, her legacy, and her impact on the industry. These conversations continued through numerous recognition profiles about Craven. He even had the opportunity to publish stories about his experience with grief, especially pertaining to Banks' death. In 2021, the Game Accessibility Conference presented an award titled the Susan Banks Advocacy Award to an individual who upholds the accessible mission and uplifts disabled voices. In 2022, the International Games Developers Association, the IGDA, received an email from an anonymous source questioning whether Banks had ever actually existed. Okay. It says here, my thoughts were that someone seemed concerned about our community being taken advantage of, and they wanted to let me know, remembers the IGDA Executive Director, Jake and Bella. After processing the conversation, it seemed to me the worst-case scenario was an individual was perhaps progressing accessibility initiatives in conjunction with a pseudonym. I did not see much of a concern there, considering how often people receive hate and harassment for advocating for DEI issues in the games industry. It says here, an IGDA volunteer familiar with the situation explains that when informed of the incident, Craven claimed the questioning was affecting his mental health and wanted to simply remove Banks' name from the award. And even when offered legal support, Craven wished to forget the situation. In December of 2022, the award honoring Susan Banks became just the Advocacy Award, and any mentions of Banks ceased. It says here, since Banks' death, Craven has posted about 2 similar romantic relationships with fellow games accessibility advocates, Tubi Hamid and Damaris Dev Burrell Vagon, who have also had their existence questioned. Like Banks, Hamid's first mention was on Craven's social media pages back in 2012. Every story or post of Craven's would include responses from both Banks and Hamid. And like the anonymous business associate explained about Banks, nobody ever saw Hamid outside of profiles on social media. IGN's source also notes the same private investigation of Banks failed to uncover any evidence of Hamid's existence. Wow. It says here, approximately 2 years after Banks' alleged death, Hamid was introduced to the industry through a post on the now deleted Tugboat Hamid on the X or Twitter account on a Medium page. The archived X post discussed Hamid's apparent relationship with Craven, game accessibility, and experiencing the industry through the lens of a person of color. But why, though, co-founder Kate Sanchez recalls what it was like to interact with Hamid's account through private messages with Craven and other conversations. And says here, I had interactions with Tubi quite a bit on Twitter, always around race and disability as well, Sanchez said. I've been very vocal about the importance of including non-white people in the disability and accessibility space, and Tubi would often have the same views or echo them. Beyond Twitter, Craven would relay messages between me and Tubi, usually around the race and disability. That's crazy. So this Craven guy is like
inventing people, almost like
inventing people to push accessibility into video games. Why not just
do it himself?
Do it himself. I guess maybe he feels like doing it himself, people wouldn't be as supportive, but as like, okay, for example, if you, Mayo, went out there and said, I want more Hispanic people in video games, people would be like, sit your white ass down, Mayo. What the fuck are you talking about? All right. As opposed to you go out there and you say, Jesus wants more Hispanic people in games. And then people would be like, oh, that's a brown man saying it. Oh, that's the truth. We need to support that guy. Yeah, like, I guess it makes sort of sense, but at the same time, it's like, why would you do this?
I don't know. It's a good case for Batman. I don't know.
This is nuts. This is like a long article. It goes on forever.
It is. Yeah, I was like scrolling through it. I was like, holy cow, this thing is long.
I mean, it goes.
I kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Ever and ever and ever again. Like all this evidence, IGN really went hard on this shit.
Crazy.
I just hope that if it is true, right? Say these people don't exist, which I don't think they do, because if they did, right? If they did, by now, a private investigator would be able to find information that person existed.
Or like family members?
A family member. They would find somebody, right? Somebody that was linked to them. Whether it was a family member, a friend, a doctor, or something, they would be like, all right, this motherfucker had a disability. They obviously had to go to a doctor. They probably went to this clinic. This clinic has this many patients. This many people should know a person named like this. If I go ask around this clinic,
wouldn't even like a death certificate or a coroner or something like that exist?
Something would exist. This guy says that he died playing a video game. Oh man, how sad. She died doing what she loved, Mayo. It's like when I die, Mayo, I hope you tell everyone I died podcasting.
Yeah,
all right,
right.
Just like Jesus died on the podcast, okay? He didn't die in a car accident. He was podcasting while driving his car, and that's what he was doing. He loved what he was doing. Okay.
He was driving way too fast in the wrong zone, and then he just lost control and crashed
Yeah, but
while
because
podcasting.
while podcasting though, man, you gotta say while podcasting. God damn it,
Yes.
you.
He was podcasting.
I'm always podcasting. Just saying, if I die, it's because of podcasting. I was doing it. Okay, but I just, yeah, like I don't, like I said, man, I don't understand the logic behind this. Maybe this person is just a psychopath. You ever seen those people that like to do crazy shit for attention just because they like the attention? So they go to the extreme of doing something fucking crazy to get the world to notice them. This could be one of those situations. They could be one of those situations where this guy, maybe he doesn't really give a fuck about disabled people, but he figured this is the niche that nobody can really talk about. But if I can get people to care about it, then I could change things, and I could be known for being important and changing things in the world for video games and accessibility, and the people that need it will always thank me because I was the one that did it, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like, yeah. The other person, the Vaughn person that was the other person that the guy created. Apparently, they died while receiving intense cancer treatments for stage 3B colorectal cancer. Okay. But IGN was unable to find any individual who had ever seen her in person or even on a video call. They were also unable to find a registered therapist by the name of Deborah Vaughn or Damaris Burrow Vaughn fitting her description in Michigan, Illinois, or her supposedly home state of Missouri. Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh. That's
Mystery, huh? Yeah.
God. I hope like they really find who these people were. Maybe they did exist somehow, but they weren't the people that he portrayed them as. Like I almost guarantee this guy probably knows Mayo. He probably knows someone with stage 3 colorectal cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably just kind of loosely based this character he made on that person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like if I make a character like that's based on Gunny, you know, some old dude that plays video games every so often that is weird. He drives Jeeps. Okay, he likes to drive on sidewalks because that's why he drives Jeeps in California. And yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is so weird. And the crazy part, these people said like they've had conversations with these people, but they've never had like a voice conversation, or it was always through them, like through messaging or through like the guy. Like if I tell you to tell Gunny something, right, and I never see Gunny, I never meet him, I never FaceTime him or hear his voice, but you're always saying like, oh yeah, by the way, Jesus, Gunny said this about this, and then like.
It reminds me of like a TV show.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody fronting and like, oh yeah, you know, and they hurry up and like try to pretend that person's there, and they're like not even there, and
the crazy part is that these people wrote articles that were shared among the industry. Companies like Ubisoft would post these articles on their website. Ubisoft, Insomniac Games, one of the directors in Insomniac Games was one of the guys who was a senior designer at Insomniac. This is what they said. They said, quote, I'm a senior designer here at Insomniac, and your article was just shared with myself and others here who worked on Haley, which is the character in Spider-Man Miles Morales, the one that can't. I think she's deaf, right? Is she deaf? Remember the black girl? She's like deaf, right?
Yeah.
I think she's deaf. She doesn't talk, right? She's in sign language.
Mhm.
And he said, reading your article brought literal tears to my eyes. I'm so glad that you felt seen. When we were creating Haley, it was always from a perspective of, you know what? She needs her shine too. How can we show that she too is a superhero in her own way? So just reading through your article just now and knowing that you felt seen is one of the crowning achievements of my career. I hope your kids enjoy the rest of the game and have a great day. Like, but the fucking person couldn't even be, maybe they're not even real.
Right.
Oh, man. I hope this Craven guy is like a real psychopath. They just create all these characters in their head. He's like a crazy ass person, dude, that has like this crazy obsession with inclusiveness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if like it's like that? Like this psychopath that has some crazy obsession with inclusiveness, and everybody must be inclusive, Mayo. If you're not inclusive, you're wrong, Mayo. You're fucking wrong. You're a piece of shit. Especially you, Mayo, because you're white. Okay?
Mhm.
You're in your white male toxicity around here. Right? Tired of it,
Right.
Mayo. We're tired of that shit. Right? We're tired of your people dominating the world for the last 2,000 years. Damn it. Okay? Tired of that shit, Mayo. No more. We're standing up against you now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get it, man. I don't. Like I said, it just must be that. If they do find that no one like this exists, I just really hope that they find this fucking guy is a real psychopath that just has like this crazy obsession with inclusiveness, and he hates white people, and that he wants all these brown people and deaf people and blind people to be in games. And that he's just really crazy and really passionate about it. And then I hope they fire him and he never gets to work in video games again because he's a fucking psycho, dude. To go as far as to create 3 fake people, that's far.
And they all die.
By
Yeah.
some crazy fucking way of like, this person died playing their favorite game. Oh, man. God, that's fucked. Anyways, man, I don't know. That was a crazy article. I'm gonna go read the whole thing after this, but like,
Yeah, it's a long article. We're gonna put Detective Jesus on it. Figure it out, Jesus.
I need to figure out who this person is. You know what IGN needs to do? They need to go to Reddit. Where Reddit will find out anything. All right, listen, let me tell you something about Reddit, man. You get enough people on Reddit to focus on a topic,
Mm-hmm.
they'll figure it out eventually, okay? They will figure out who the fuck this person was, who they were based on, or whatever. They will figure it out. I'm convinced that if Reddit was proposed to find the cure for cancer, that Reddit could probably find the cure for cancer. Just on Reddit. Like, just that alone. You know what I mean? Like, no lab.
It's like the power of a group. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, like
big.
no crazy lab, no one doctor trying to find the cure. No, just put all the doctors on fucking Reddit. Just grab all the doctors on the internet, put them all on fucking Reddit, dude, and tell them we need you to figure out the cure for cancer. Them motherfuckers would have the cure for cancer like in a week. I'm convinced. And you know what? The government can't kill all of them because the government could kill people on planes. Like, you know that plane in Brazil that fell out of the sky? Did you see that the other day? Happened like a month ago.
No.
All right, there was a plane in Brazil, right, Mayo? All right, it took off. right, took off, and like about, I don't know, a few minutes after takeoff or whatever, it lost all power, and then it started doing like a fucking like a nosedive to the ground, and it fucking like there's videos of it. It's just spinning, dude. It's spinning like in circles. It's just falling straight to the ground, like boom, and blows up. Right. Well, you know what they found out about that plane, Mayo? You know what they found out? That there was a bunch of doctors on that plane. And guess what those doctors were doctors of research of? Cancer. Oh, wow, right? Wow, yeah.
Yeah, but didn't you think if like Reddit was a thing, when they just shut down Reddit?
They could, but maybe they can't. Maybe the Reddit would figure out a way to get on Discord and 4chan and all the other shit. People will figure it out, man. Okay,
Just
listen.
always move.
Yeah, you could fucking go to the dark web, man. Everyone figured out a way to get in touch with each other.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of the world's problems could be solved on Reddit. All right, man? Listen, we got problems with Russia. Listen, get up some Russian diplomats on there, get some American diplomats on there, and have Reddit hack it out for them. All right, man. What the fuck is the problem between the two countries? This is what's going on. Fucking Reddit would have that shit figured out in 2 weeks. Be world peace, man. Be world peace. You'd have Muslims getting along with the Israeli people. You know, everyone just be getting along. Everyone, the whole world. We'd be all happy. No more wars. Ukraine would fucking join Russia or something, or Russia would join the Ukraine. All right, it would all be peace and love, man. Okay, listen, it would all be peace and love. Okay.
It
Yeah,
says,
Mayo.
nothing to do with it. It just reminded me though, some local news we had happen here, Jesus. When you said dark web, the city of Columbus had a data breach and all their information was stolen. And they were denying it. They were like, "Oh yeah, your information's fine." And a local news team was digging into it, and they found like all this stuff on the dark web. And it was a bunch of like city employees and people that had like convictions, like all their information, birth dates, social security numbers, everything. And the city here was hiding it. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, no, they didn't take anything. Your information's safe." And now they're all saying like, "Oh, yeah, we're aware. You know, we'll offer you some free, you know, like credit monitoring and this for so many years and all that stuff now." But yeah, it's this big thing that got undercovered. But they were, I guess, threatened to sell the information on the dark web if they didn't get paid. So I guess a bunch of people's information from Columbus is in the dark web for that.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, they have the whole country's information. They hacked the whole country, apparently. Took everyone's social security numbers. Everyone's. Not just one person, not one city, Mayo. Everyone in the fucking country, the whole fucking database. They have it all. Okay? So, yeah, it's fucked. Fucked. Mm-hmm.
You got anything else
Yeah.
over there, Jesus? I'm pretty much
No,
out of news.
man. I'm out of news. I'm just looking at the people that died in that plane crash now. It's all conspiracy theory Jesus now, man. Conspiracy theory Jesus. You don't want him started.
Oh yeah, I think he's already started.
No, man. I'm telling you, that fucking plane, man. You know those doctors that were supposed to be on that plane and lawyers that were supposed to be on that plane that got denied entry to the plane because they showed up a few minutes late to the airport, right?
Mhm.
And they were trying to like argue with the people at the gate, like, no, you gotta let us on that fucking plane. We gotta get on that plane. And the people were like, no, sorry, the gate's already been closed. The plane's been boarded. We closed the plane. We cannot reopen it. It's boarded. It's shut. You guys have to wait for the next flight. And next thing you know, dude, plane falls out of the sky, man. No, planes don't just fucking fall out of the sky, man. Okay, it's not just every day that a fucking plane just loses power in the middle of the sky and falls out of it. Like, no, but all these
Right.
doctors on board. Listen, man, if I ever fly again, I want to make sure I ask if there's any doctors. Any doctors in this waiting lobby? How many doctors do we have waiting here? Any of you
Is there
happen to be
any important people on this plane?
yeah. Any cancer research doctors on this flight? any Boeing whistleblowers going on this flight? All right, we're gonna fucking make sure I don't get on this fucking flight if you guys are on it, man. Cause fuck this shit. All right, that's fucking scary, dude. Crazy. I think I'm like, that's fucking nuts. This is crazy. But yeah, man, it happens, man.
Yeah.
You know, they'll never have the cure for cancer.
Posted, Jesus. Keep me posted.
Yeah, they'll never have the cure for cancer, man. It's too much money in it, bro. Too much money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, too much money. They'll never have it, man. They'll treat you for it, Mayo. They'll pump you full of radiation. That's it. Anyways, we're out of here, people. We're out of here.
Yes.
Find me on everything that Jesus Walks a lot. I'll be playing some more Dragon's Dogma 2. I'll definitely be trying out that Star Wars Outlaws tonight. But
yeah, let me know.
Before I go to California. And then definitely playing some more Dragon Dogma. Hey, man, like I said, if you get my pawn again in Dragon's Dogma, I'm telling you, she's going to be level like 30 now. And she's still a mage. I thought about switching her to sorcerer. Problem with that is, if I switch her to sorcerer, then I have no healer in my group. Then I have to switch.
That healer.
I like having her as my healer, right? So like that's why I'm like, I'm gonna have to switch one of the other one, the cat chick or the sword guy. I'm gonna have to switch him out for like a mage, so they can heal us. So I'm like, I don't know if I really want that. Then it's only gonna be me and the other person attacking. But I guess I could have my other pawn, since she's a sorcerer, she can cast like crazy spells that do damage too. I'm like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
I'll send you a little better gift next time. I don't remember what I sent with you last time, but it was nothing.
I think you sent me a fucking potato.
Yeah, it was something.
You sent me like a fucking potato. I'm like, potato? What the fuck is it? It said your pawn is back from the rift. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, see what she got. Oh, she got a potato. And the other one, she got like a fucking apple or something. I was like, oh, great, guys.
Those apples can be valuable.
Thanks for the fucking awesome gifts, guys, for my pawn. She went over there and kicked ass with you guys, and fucking, I got a potato and an apple, I think, and like that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
potato and apple.
She was telling me when she was at my party, she wanted to stay with me. She didn't like her previous owner.
That previous owner is an asshole. He hasn't been online forever. Oh, shit.
Left me over here. I'm glad I could go on an adventure with him instead of not my previous owner.
Yeah. But all right, man. Where can people find you, Mayo?
You can find me pretty much on Discord. Is the best way to do it. Is the Mayo. If not, on the PlayStation, Steam, Xbox is the Mayo one. And Gunny's everywhere. Is what Gunny Cheap.
Yeah.
And then he's something else on Twitter or something. Was he like? What was his weird random?
Doug Gunny Cheap? No,
it was like Twitter or something like that. It wasn't like in gaming. It was like Kane Marston or something.
Twitter was weird. Yeah, Twitter was like Kane Marston on Twitter. What the fuck? Kane Marston? What the fuck? He's weird. I don't know. Fucking Gunny. I don't get it. Anyways,
I think he's dodging people.
I think he's
aliases.
He's one of them fake people. He's creating them fake people again online, like the other guy. He's like one of them psychopaths. Next thing we're gonna find out Kane Marston's an advocate for blind gamers or something. Kane Marston is a big advocate for blind gamers, and he's fucking gave Ubisoft advice on blind gaming.
Or the community made us find out there really isn't no Gunny Cheap, and we've been using a fake. Oh, we're getting deep now. Maybe there never really was a Gunny. Maybe we just say he's old. Maybe we just say he's old, so when he dies, we'll just have a.
Oh, he was just old.
Yeah.
Damn, you're right.
Maybe it was just an AI.
What if
I guess our Discord, I think our Discord has an AI issue too, I think, as well. kind of sneaking in there.
Really?
Yeah.
We got AI everyone?
Yeah, there's like a Jesus AI in there. I think there's a Mayo AI in there. So there's probably a Gunny AI in
What
there.
the fuck? I'm scared now.
We have to start watching our Discord a little closer.
Fuck. Alright. Well, anyways, we're out of here, people. Peace out. Brussels sprouts will catch you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers podcast. We're out of here. Go play some Star Wars. Go play some games. Games are going to come out here very soon and short and fast. Okay?
Yes.
Fast. This is the time of the
Holidays are
game.
coming. That's when the games start
This is
coming.
good, man. It's starting, I guess, that Black Myth Wukong game and Star Wars kicks everything off, right? Madden and everything kicks everything off.
Yeah.
Now it's like nonstop games till what? November, December? Fuck. It's gonna be crazy.
We need some good games.
Right, definitely. Alright, bye everyone. Bye.
See ya.